Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey guys, thanks a lot for all of you who are celebrating the 4th today. Enjoy, take it fun with your family, your kids, whatever you're going to be doing. For those of you that are on the other side of the world or some other place where, 4th of July doesn't mean anything, we're glad that you're here. But, just want to welcome you to Lisa taking her time on this holiday to give you some new free FREE, that's how we spell free, insight into her training and ideas that you can take away today to use in your business. And we all know Lisa, love her to death. And I'm just going to turn the reins over to you, Lisa.
Thank you, Patrick. Happy Independence Day for you guys in the U.S. and for those people in the U.K. Thanks for letting us go a couple hundred years ago. And
Everybody hear us okay? You want to double check that first, Lisa?
yeah, that's a great start. Make sure you guys can hear us. Make sure everybody can see the screen. So yes, you can hear me. Yes, you can see the screen. If you have any trouble, Patrick is going to be monitoring questions. So in the question area, that's probably the best place to put stuff. And then don't forget to look in the chat area. If Patrick shares any links, we'll put them in there. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. My first slide, I just have a good fun time with fishing references. I love to fish. So here, fishy, right? So fishing for our clients, three super simple ways to find clients. I really, when I put this presentation together, I felt like some of you guys didn't know me. So I did add a little bit in the beginning on the why and how I came up with these methods. So I'll try to be super quick on that and just kind of give you a little bit of what you're going to get out of this today, and then we'll just jump right into it. So first and foremost, I'm going to give you some really great ways to get in the door with just about any client. I mean, this has worked for me with so many different clients. I haven't found one yet it hasn't worked for. So if there's a client you want to get in with, you could use these methods to get past the gatekeeper, things like that. Once we actually get these clients, I'm also going to talk about how we convert after we get in the door to make these folks our loyal clients, meaning I have clients who have been with me from the beginning and some clients who have been with me before I even started my agency and was just working on the side part-time. How to get referrals and testimonials from them, from the clients. If we have time, we'll get into that. If we don't, we'll have to table that. And then obviously, from if you've been in any other trainings I've done, to me, a winning attitude and winning language wins deals. So practice on what you're going to say to people. So when you do finally get in the door, you don't muck it up. But remember, even if you do, that was great practice, right? Now you know what to do or what not to do for next time. And a lot more if we have time for it. So I've allotted about an hour for the content and then some questions. And as always, at the end of this presentation, you're going to get a lot of free stuff. You're going to get great ideas, things you can put into action today. But we also have an offer at the end for you. If you haven't joined our mastermind group, this was going to be their first training, and we decided to go ahead and open it up for everyone, which is great because then my mastermind, because it's a closed mastermind and they've paid for it, I feel as though I still owe them 2 closed private sessions. So this month, they're actually getting 3. They're getting this one, and they're going to get 2 more. So if you do join at the end of the call today, you're going to just get more of this type of stuff and a whole lot more. All right, so real quick, I just kind of want to touch base on how I became an SEO or a marketer or web designer or whatever you want to call me. I do many things. How this came to be. How did I figure out how to do these great client getting methods? So I started in the U.S. military. So if any of you guys were in the military, thank you for your service as well. But I was in the U.S. Army and was trained to do a little bit here and there on computers, which led me to eventually become a trainer. But it wasn't easy for me, meaning, everything didn't go the way I wanted it. I got laid off while I was a trainer. I was recovering from a major surgery, and I'd been training for 10 years with a company. And apparently, if you leave to, for 6 weeks to have surgery, they just lay you off. So out of fear, I took a job in corporate America. I scrambled and said, okay, I'll do whatever. And I went to work for a Fortune 50 company. in their training department because, again, for 10 years previous, I was a trainer. And then over time, I did become the vice president of training for, I'm no longer there, so I could tell you the name, but I try not to drop names on those kind of things because who knows, they might come back on me. So it was a Fortune 50 company. It was a big bank that I used to work for. And I ran all the training and that kind of thing. So I know a lot about training and I know a lot about sales success and things like that. I was literally at the top of my game in corporate America, right? So I was making six figures. I had a cushy job. I could work from home, you know, most of the time, maybe go in once or twice a month. I was at the top of my game. It was great. That's me in the Army, by the way, back in 1980 some odd. And that's me in a corporate America. Yeah, I look really tan, but it was just bad lighting apparently, and then my bad photoshopping. So that is me. Thought I'd show you a picture of me. All right, so I'm doing my thing. I'm working my corporate America job. In the questionnaire, anybody in corporate America right now? Anybody there in the trenches, as I'll call it, playing real world survivor? Got some yeses. Yeah. So every day. Yeah. So I'm doing my corporate America thing. You know, I'm supposedly, you know, got the golden parachute. I've done it. And then one day I literally realized I'm going to have to do the same thing day in and day out over and over again. Keep doing it.
Does BS mean business stuff?
Yes, business stuff. No,
Okay.
that's what it means, bullshit. Because if you've ever been in corporate America, it's a bunch of bullshit. It's people stabbing each other in the back, trying to get up the ladder. Nice guys like me had a hard time. I was not appreciated. Literally, my workload kept increasing because I'm the girl who would get it done. And then the lazy people, I'll call them, they got away with everything. And lo and behold, they got the promotion. So it was maddening. The team that I had working for me got smaller and smaller, but we were asked to do the same thing. You know, keep churning out the same number of courses, the same number of online training seminars, etc. And raises, of course, became much smaller and less frequent. Bonuses started dwindling, et cetera, et cetera. And then we were always told, you know what, you're lucky to have a job, right? Because they would lay off all the time. So if you were still there after a layoff, they would increase your workload until you were lucky to have a job. So I was working literally 70, 80 hours a week. So I thought you guys liked that. Here's me at my desk most days. So that's really not me.
That's wrong. That's wrong. That's me at my desk at 3 a.m. trying to answer a Skype
That's
question.
Patrick at his desk last night with a wig on, eating carrots, right?
Exactly.
So honestly, it really did occur to me, you know, I'm going to have to do this for the next 30 years. Talk about a scary thought. Like one day, literally, I'm sitting at my desk and I think to myself, I'm going to do this for another 30 years. Are you kidding me? Something happened, you know, and I think I mentioned it in the webinar sign up, you know, the whole shebang, you know, bunch of crap, but I just couldn't do it anymore. So that was my why for wanting to start my own business. That's why I really wanted to get out of corporate America. I just couldn't take the crap anymore. It was just too much. And the realization that I would have to do that for the next 30 years, every Sunday, hating going to work, was why I did this. So my why was freedom. You guys can start typing in your questions, or the question box. What's your why? Why are you, you know, starting your own business? Everybody on this call is obviously starting their own business. So for me, notice these pictures. My why was freedom. So here's my 28 schedule. I already spent 4 weeks in Destin, Florida on vacation. I already spent 1 week in West Palm Beach, Florida on vacation. I'm going to be spending 2 weeks at Disney World in Orlando in September. I'm going to be spending a week in Green Bay. I'm going to a Green Bay football game. Yes, I'm a Green Bay Packer.
Hey!
Yay!
All right.
Green Bay. Oh, Disney World's twice. I'm only going there once. Sorry, it's a repeat. I have gone to 5 out of the 10 concerts already I'm going to this year. You get the idea. Every weekend I like to spend it at the lake. So here's, you know, pictures of the stuff I like to do. This was my why. I didn't realize it at the time that I would have so much freedom to do the things I want. Do I bring my computer to most of these places? Yes, hell yes. I run a business. So yeah, my computer's with me, my phone's with me. I'm taking care of business, but you know what? I'm living life on my terms. This is why I did it. I now have the freedom to work when and where I choose each and every day. And I know that's why you guys are on this call, right? So you started your business for the same dang reason. You're tired of the day job. You're tired of people's BS, business stuff, as Patrick likes to say. I love that, Patrick. Yeah, so the BS. So that was my
Hey,
aha
Lisa,
moment.
I think you want to just kind of take a quick notice here that everybody that is responding to your question is really the same thread: financial freedom, independence, freedom and financial freedom, freedom so my kids the world. And if you're working 80 hours a week, you can't show your kids anything but your backside as you're walking out the door.
That's it. That's it. And even though I just spent and I didn't put it on the list, I just spent a week or I'm sorry, a month. My niece was here for a month for she's 8 years old. Her mom was traveling. I have the freedom to be able to say, yeah, she can come spend the summer with me. Yeah, I had to work. Sure, I had to work. But I had the ability to walk out the back door and go swimming with her at lunchtime and then come back in and do some work and things like that. So yeah, I love these. Seeing a lot. Freedom to show my kids the world. I think that's my favorite right now. Go do it, Barry. Do not, no more excuses for everyone, because I'm going to show you some stuff here. One of the things I always like to say is I love this by Henry Ford. The whole secret of a successful life is to find out what is one's destiny to do and then do it. I'm a techno geek. I love techie stuff. I love training, but at the end of the day, it's got to be techie stuff. So that day, honestly, that day where I was sitting at my desk, I had my head down on my desk. I'll share with you, I was crying that day. I had to compose myself. Um, I ran a big team. I had to walk out that door and keep on with my day. I decided that day I was getting out. And so that's how a lot of the stuff you're going to see that I figured out how to do, I just figured it out. And luckily, it was the right stuff. So I started this business in October of 2011. So October of 2011, roughly not even 6.5 years ago. And that's, I think you guys need to know that. So as we come out. So what is your why? I think you guys already told me. I'm just going to check.
Hey, Lisa, let me interrupt you one quick second.
Yes, sir.
Because one of the other things that I can't remember if it's Henry Ford, but I think it is. But it was part of one of my classes that I took that said this. And I think this is one of the main reasons why you're here, I'm here, and other people. I believe it was Henry Ford that said, I don't have to be the most intelligent person in the world, but all I need is smarter people around me than me to gain my wisdom from. And I think that may actually be Henry Ford's quote. And it's one of the things in Dale Carnegie that I learned, as well as a couple other things. But that's what we're doing here. Every single person does not have to be the smartest person. There's no way that you can be the smartest person. So when you design and understand what your why is, now you have to find the people such as Lisa, Terry, and others that are smarter, but can bring that into a closure so that you can achieve your goal. Does that make sense?
It does to me. It does to me, Patrick, and you're exactly right. Surround yourself with smart people. If you guys don't notice, if I'm not in all the trainings that are happening on all the webinars, it's typically because I'm going to watch the replay because maybe I had a client call or something else. Constantly learning has been the key. So you guys have some great whys: freedom, independence, financial freedom. Everybody kind of says the same kind of type of stuff. So once I knew this is what I wanted to do, all I needed was to replace my $20,000 per month day job. Now I know a lot of people don't have a $20,000 a month day job, right? So that I was already supposedly living the dream, right? So I had to figure out, I don't know if you guys know this or not. It probably happens to you, but the more you make, the more you spend. So I easily spent $20,000 a month. I couldn't just quit my job. I would lose my house. I would lose my cars. I would lose stuff. So I had to figure out, how do I make, that was a lot of money to have to make when you were starting from zero. So that's how this was going to be. And so I needed clients, and all I had was time, and I really didn't want to invest a bunch of money. So that's where all this came from. And the stuff you're going to learn today, I needed a strategy. I had to come up with it. How could I get new clients without a lot of money? And I know a lot of you guys, want to do things that are less expensive. So, you're not investing just a ton of money in things that don't work. So before I get into the methods, I'm going to talk to you just quickly about what these methods have done, because I think when you see the methods, you're going to question me. You're going to say, Lisa, come on. You want us to do those things? I mean, those are so simple, and surely we can't get big clients doing that. So I went fishing for clients, okay? And I use these methods I'm going to show you today. I can show you proof. I can show you everything I did. I can give you documentation. The point is, I needed to find clients and bait the fish, get them to call me. Remember, I said in my sign up kind of webinar deal, I hated to cold call. So I needed people to call me because that's the only way I can have success. I need to be invited to sell to you, or I don't like to sell, plain and simple. So I figured I could lead in with smaller services, meaning I could sell them the small stuff and work up to the web design or the SEO. If I could just get in the door and build that trust and authority, if people would learn who I am and know that I'm there to help, that I'm nice, I knew I could win these clients. So one of the first things I did was send mailers, and we're going to talk about that. And I'm going to show you a little bit about that. Yep, I sent snail mail flyers to people, but it's very specific. We're going to talk about the specificity. I don't even know if that's a word, Patrick. I'm going to show you the specifics here in a minute, but I would send them snail mail flyers, like in the mail with stamps. Now, this one's going to be a little more expensive because you got to buy the stamps, but guess what? $25 a week in stamps is what you say you're going to do. You do it. Again, it's follow through. Print marketing. I had the unique ability to design. I have talent to do that. Now you don't have to worry about that. There's so many people can do this for you. You can find VAs and other people. So business cards, postcards, right? I'm talking about little stuff. And I know right now you're thinking, oh, I'm going to sell a business card and get a $3,000 a month client. Remember, I wasn't kidding when I said I turned $4 into, I thought $250,000. We did the math this morning in our business, and it's about $450,000. I had to update my numbers since 4 years ago. Videos or ranking video. If you guys know how to make videos, if you know how to rank a video, you could get in the door with the folks. Press releases, great way. Blogging, mobile apps, landing pages. You're getting the idea. These are little things. These aren't $3,000 a month recurring services. They're little things. And I could go on and on. I started coming up with every way I could try, and I would test it, and I would split test it, and I would do all sorts of stuff. So how do you build that trust and authority? Before we talk about the methods, I just want to remember, there's a method to the madness, right? We're going to offer a low cost or free service to start. Now, I know most people are like, I'm not doing it for free. Why not? If you go in there and you say, hey, I'm going to do this for you for free, because I know once you see how great I am, you're going to want to hire me to do this for you forever. Free gets you in the door. Free says, I'm willing to show you what I can do, and if I can do it, then you can hire me. Works all the time. A lot of people do it. Find a service, some low-cost service that they already use. So if you know people are already doing printing, then offer to do it cheaper. If you know somebody's doing marketing, offer to do it cheaper, et cetera, et cetera. And then deliver amazing service. So that was my trick, right? So as you guys know, Patrick doesn't pay me to be on the chats and talk to you guys. I'll help anybody. Every person who sent me a Skype request, I've said yes to. Every person who sent me a Facebook request, I've said yes to. There have been a couple that were weird, and I declined just because they were like weird. And then they started trying to chat with me. So, but for the most part, I will deliver amazing service. I'll be nice. So I know I can deliver once they hire me to do something. Once I do that, I become the expert, guys. So I am now somebody they trust. I've built authority. Who do you think they're going to turn to when they need new stuff? So we gain their trust. We build a relationship with them. And once we've built that trust and authority, you don't need to sell your services anymore. Now, I'm pulling this right out of my Trophy Clients sales course, right, that I sold long ago. And it was a great course. It still is. And, some of you guys have it now because, you join the group and you get that depending on the membership. But plain and simple, once you've built trust and authority, once you've sold them, I don't care if it's a $50 design job. If you've done it on time, on schedule, you've done it for the price you told them you do it, and you did it well, they're going to keep coming back. And if somebody offers to do it for $40, they're probably going to still pay you the $50 because you have that trust and authority. Once you get that, you simply let them know how else you can help them. So what do I mean by that? Well, I'm going to show you in my method of $4 to almost $500,000. So I call this our trophy process, pulling this out of my course, but we build the trust and authority. For us, it was print or web. Those are the two things we used a lot. You don't have to use those two things. You can use what you want. We're going to show you some ideas. Then we turned our print and web customers into those trophy clients. We turned those customers into SEO clients. And then eventually a client that just was taking up our generosity and not really moving into the bigger services, we'd have end up firing that client and just, not being available as much anymore for them. So I'm just going to give you a couple examples, and then we're going to jump right into some of these methods. So here's a dental marketing company, and the first thing we sold to them was a $143 order. We designed and printed postcards for them for $143. You have to know that I didn't make any money on that job, right? Design and print the postcards for $143. Yeah, I'm going to show you this method. It's the third method we're going to see. I called the customer from an online service company. In the end, they referred to me over 10 dentists. They're now paying me $29.50 a month as a client. They've paid me over $200,000 to date. And this is the client that in referrals has generated for me and my company in the last 6 years, $450,000 from a $143 service. So when you guys say, hey, what is your marketing group about? Or I'm sorry, your mastermind group about? This is the stuff we're teaching people, how to do this stuff. But today you're going to learn some of that stuff. You get this for free because Patrick's convincing. This was my free session for, our group, and we're doing it for everybody. So I owe them 2 more. All right, I'm going to go through these quickly. Another dental client, same package. It worked once. I tried it again. $2,900 a month, $200,000 to date. Chiropractor, I did business cards. That's the first thing we did. We went in and did business cards for them. Again, paid up front to receive a discount, became a client, not a high paying client. He still only pays us $900 a month. But guess what? He gives me cash every year. And by the way, it's in April, like April 1st. Who doesn't need $10,800 right before taxes are due? I do. So love this client. He can continue to pay me year after year this money. I'll continue to do work for him. We have a law firm. A lot of you guys heard Patrick bragging about this particular client. One of my print customers referred us to this law firm. So having that print customer referred us. Now that's trust. His initial down payment with us was a check for $40K. And now he pays us $20K a month. What I love about this guy, he pays us quarterly. I got to tell you guys, $60K checks do not suck. They just don't. It helps out a lot, especially the one that comes in January. I put it away for taxes, things like that. So, and remember, guys, when I say I did it with print, I do have a solution for you where you don't have to know how to design. You don't have to have the print resources. We can get all this done for you. Don't worry about that. I think Patrick has said in other webinars, I have done for you services. You don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to quickly go through these. TV personality, you see the numbers here. Another dentist, some more numbers here. I'm just going to go through these. Pest control, more big numbers here. Another dentist. And then I'm just trying to show you there's such a range, right? Audio, video, jewelry store, wealth management, another chiropractor, a list provider, sells mailing lists, pool cleaning company, a hunting ranch, one of my favorites because I get to go out there. And we just signed my new favorite, what's it called? The places where you can go look through their giant telescopes. Astronomy, like a big telescope. So love those kind of
conservatory.
Yeah, conservatory, exactly. And that one I did a trade. I said, hey, I'll do this for you cheap because they're a nonprofit. Can I come twice a year and use your services? Which they don't let people come out and look through their telescope, and I get to go look through the telescope. So love that. Every one of these deals, I'm only mentioning my deals. I have plenty of deals, but these are the deals that were acquired with the exact methods I'm showing you today. I'm only showing you this because I want you to really believe these work. You can't try it once, it didn't work, and move on. I mean, you got to invest, and when you do, trust me, you put your time into this stuff works. So I don't do these slides very often, but this is what I did when I'm thinking to myself, what kind of client do I need? I basically told myself I had to have 2K a month clients. Yeah, sometimes I get a 1K a month, sometimes I get a 3K a month, but I try to average a 2K a month client. So one client gives me 24,000 a year if it's 2K. Two clients, 48, and so on. I would only need 5 clients to get to $120,000 a year. Now remember, I needed to get to, double that. So I knew I needed 10 good clients, and it did take me. Oh, I didn't quit my job right away, guys. I quit. I could have quit after the first year and a half. I chose to stay and double dip and put a lot of money away, which is the smart thing to do, right? I did have a business partner. She quit within 6 months of us starting the agency. I personally didn't quit until 2014, so it's at 4 years ago. That's when I quit. And I didn't quit because in corporate America, you just raise your hand and said, lay me off, please, on the next round. And sure enough, if you raise your hand and say, I'll make your decision easy on who to pick, lay me off, they do. So I even got a package to walk away. But remember, once you nail down your processes, I can easily close 3K, 4K, 5K deals now. If the right people come to me, I can get those closed. But I typically don't go after the big money. I start them in a 2K. And I tell them, look, as we get results from you, you'll be happy to double our money if we're bringing you tons of business, right? Oh, yeah. Well, go do what you said you're going to do. And guess what? You come back to them and you ask for more money. Plain and simple. So you don't always have to think I want a 20K client. Think I want a 2K client that I can upgrade. Okay. And this is the big thing. This client that brought us 450K, I had to update this. I looked at the numbers this morning. This particular client started out with a $4 postcard design. I'm going to show you how to do that. And then we printed those postcards. The whole package is about $143. And that's how much we've made on this client because of that one interaction. Now I'm going to stop. And then I'm going to give you the disclaimer. So I'm going to stop. Any comments? Okay, yeah. So love this. 2K is big for me. Yeah. Guess what? I didn't start with 2K deals. Some of my first deals were $300, $500. And that's what I'm here to tell you. You know what you can do and what you're willing to take. Just don't make the mistake of filling up all your hours with little people to where you don't have time to go out and look for more people or bigger people. You always have to set aside time to continue to look for your future customers. So that's fine. You can take on the small deals. Heck, when I first started, I took on almost anything because I just wanted the portfolio. I wanted to build my client base. I wanted the success stories. I wanted the 5-star reviews and things like that. All right, good comments, guys. There's no easy buttons. I'm going to tell you that right now. This is my disclaimer. There is no guarantee you'll achieve the same success I did. Heck, you might even do better. You're the person that can make things happen. All we do is show you what we do. So here are the methods. I tried to get through this quickly, and I'm sorry it still took 20 minutes. These are our methods. I'm going to show you 3 of them. They still work. We still use them today during our slow periods, or sometimes just to make sure they still work in case something should happen and I have to revert back to them. So the very first one, it's the get in the door method number 1, mailers. And let me now escape out of the PowerPoint. And I'm going to show you this. So in the great state of Texas, I stumbled upon this particular resource. When I first started my business, I decided I was going to go see a CPA, and the CPA just happened during the first initial meeting. By the way, I didn't hire this person, but in the initial meeting when I was interviewing them, they were bragging about how they send out these letters to new businesses. And that's, because I asked them, how'd you get my information? How'd you know I was in business? Oh, they were bragging about their method. Well, sure enough, in the state of Texas, I can come in here and through their website and for free. Now, not all states are like this. I know Florida has a great resource like this. New Jersey, I know, has a great resource like this. There's a couple states I know for a fact have these kind of resources. I don't remember if they're all free, but in Texas, it's free. I can come in here and I don't know where it is, but I'd have to search for it. But I can find out every single person who started a new business in the state of Texas. Every single person who registers a business is right here. And look at how nice Texas is. They give me a downloadable CSV file.
Dang. I'm going to convert all my marketing to Texas.
All this here. So think about that. And I had this open. Okay, so here's I'm just going to say new franchise. I think that's what it's called. There's going to be a folder in here somewhere, new franchise list. And I want you to see the dates on these things. You know, you can tell. Here's the files. This is 2012. February 2012, I was playing with this method, right? So you don't see a whole lot of, you know, in 2015, we kicked it up again because we needed it. And here's 2017 where we're playing with it again. So, you know, it still works. We still use it from time to time, but I don't need to use this like I used to. Oh, good gosh, I got everything open.
Wow.
So let me just show you, like, you know, what some of these look like, right? So oh, that's a new business letter. I want to show you one of the Excel spreadsheets, though. Oh, where is that? Come on. I don't know if that's it or not. Let's see. That's not it. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to find this real quick. There we go. All right. So here's one of the lists, and here's I'm going to show you. So 119. So I'm sorry, January 9th of 2012. Now, mind you, that's 3 months after I opened my business. Okay. I sent out mailers to these people. So I culled the list. I went through the list and decided to figure out who I wanted, what client I wanted, what looked good to me, and I sent out the mailers. Now, that's a lot of mailers. So think about the stamps. Let's see. Let me see how many I sent out that particular day. I keep track of everything, by the way. I don't know. There's over 200. There might be 400 I sent that time. So think about 400 stamps. There's $200. And then the paper to print them on. The very first call I got was on 122 from this particular company. This guy still to this day will order stuff from us. He's never been a big customer. He's never spent a lot of money, but to this day still calls me when he needs print. This particular customer spent, the first order they did with us was for $4,195. Bam. My costs were paid for. I just got paid to prospect. Paid to prospect. And sure enough, on January 30th, this one company called and they contracted me to do a website for them plus SEO. Now, at the time, I wasn't very confident in my SEO ability. So I think I sold them a $1,400 a month package. And I think I went home and jumped up and down and rolled around in the mud. And I was just happier than a pig in mud, right? This is what I got from just that one mailing set. Well, then I did it again the next month. I was so excited. So here we go, see the next month. Well, you know what? The next month it didn't get me a ton, but this JBS Fitness Group started doing SEO like 2 years later. This Front Porch Pottery to this day still does print. These guys did something once and never did anything again, but that's okay. I was getting clients. I was starting my business. I just made 6 people extremely happy. And then I'll show you here. I think we got nothing on this month. And then I didn't do it for a while because I started doing some other stuff, and I'm going to show you some of the other stuff. And then I think I came back, and I could probably do this today and do well. I just don't need to anymore. This would still work. And let me find that Word doc. So here's the Word doc. This is the very original Word doc I sent out back, then. Dear business owner, congratulations on your new business. And then I just basically tell them a little bit about us. I go in here and tell them that we've helped businesses. Now, I've been doing this on the side for 20 plus years. And remember, if you work with me and I'm doing some of your done for you, or you're outsourcing the work to me, you can use my experience, because you can say our team has been doing this for over 20 years. Remember that. Don't be afraid to put those words in there. And then I tell them some of the stuff we can do. And again, I haven't changed this letter. This is the same exact letter. Back then, this is what I was doing. Please call for a free, no obligation consultation. Remember what I had said. I hate cold calling. So notice this method has them call me. I don't call them. I never even call them after I send the letter. If you're the person who you can call, imagine if you send them a letter, then you followed up with a phone call. I just can't do it still today. I hate it. I give them some more information, and then I give them a deal. Here's an entire business identity package. Back then, I did it for $525. I think that turned out to be my cost. But what did I care? Again, I was trying to just get a customer that would continue to do stuff. I sold them an entire website for $1,250. Again, just trying to to get customers. You can set these whatever you want. You could do whatever you want. The idea is, and then I think I added a fourth page down the road where it had examples and stuff like that. I'd stuff these into, I think I signed these by hand back then. I would literally sit down and sign them all by hand. And then I believe the first batch, we literally hand address them. So think of me sitting at a desk, hand addressing 400. I don't know if that was part of the initial success or not. In later times, we actually put labels on them. But these are the exact letters that I sent and got, clients that ended up being $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 worth of business in the end. Because that Excel spreadsheet we're looking at, that's just what I had got back then. That doesn't show how much they've spent in the last 6 years. That's what I got that month. That was the initial sale, so to speak. So this worked really well for me. The idea is simple. These are brand new businesses. They just started. So they're going to need a logo. They're going to need business cards. They're probably going to need a website. They're going to need stuff. And if you could get there before other people, I asked some of my customers, by the way, once they become customers, how many mailers did you get like mine? Do you know what they said, Patrick? What do you think? What do you think?
How many customers did you get like mine?
No, how many mailers did they get? So like I sent them a mailer introducing myself. How many did they get?
Oh, back in those days?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Boatloads of them.
The answer was 0. Nobody
Christina
was
got
sending them out back then.
Valerie got it. Barry got it. Chris got it.
None. And to this day, people still think snail mail doesn't work. I doubt a lot of people send them stuff. And if you send out 400 things and you get one phone call, the key is do it for at least 3 months in a row. Do it for 3 or 4 months in a row before you give up, so to speak. My first month was an anomaly that, man, I happened to get lucky and get some great clients the very first month. But then I had some dry months. Notice like that third month I got nothing. Well, that's okay because it'll even out. So always do something over a period of time. I would go back to doing this tomorrow if I needed to. It works. I think it still works. The key was for me, kind of hand picking.
Let me interrupt you 1 minute. And the reason that I think that the answer is 0 is because if everybody on the call is somewhat similar to myself, every time that you register a domain, that information is sold, right? How many times do you get, somebody from India after you register a domain in the next 2 to 3 weeks calling you to sell you what Lisa is sharing here? Okay. I mean, I must get 2-3 phone calls a day.
And emails. You get tons of emails.
So my point is, to the 0 effect is nobody's doing it this way anymore because everybody's trying to badger the hell out of you with phone calls.
Right. And another good point, I was local. So I would cull through that list from here, and I wouldn't pick people in Houston because I'm not in Houston. I'm in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So I was finding businesses that were in my area. That way, if they said, hey, could you come out? I knew I could go out. Many of them, I never even had to go out. I didn't have to go visit them. And even today, I don't always go visit new clients. But the point is, you can find people that just open a business, and if you're comfortable with certain services, offer them. Nobody reads their email anymore. Everyone throws that away. You might get a couple people that way. But honestly, I think we're going back to we're so tired of, all the overseas robocalls and all the overseas emails and even onshore. And we're so tired of it as business owners, we just ignore it. Exactly. And when you send this letter and it's handwritten and it's from a company that's local and if someone's being nice and congratulating you and things like that, I think you'll pay attention to it more.
Are you willing to give that as a template out to everybody here today so they can copycat you?
The letter? You're killing me, Patrick. Yeah. So people who paid to be in the group paid to get that stuff.
Yeah, but this is the paid version of the free version.
The paid version of the free version. All right, I'll give that letter out only. Fair enough?
Yep.
All right.
Perfect.
Let's move on.
Barry will thank you.
Yeah. we'll move on before anyone else asks any more questions. There's some other stuff coming up that no, I will not give it out. All right, so that's method number one. So I don't have to really switch back to the PowerPoint, but just so I'm going in, and that's the wrong PowerPoint. Where is that PowerPoint? There it is. So let's go back here, and the next one is the interview method. This one back then worked really well because no one was doing it, and a lot of people are doing it now. Okay, so there's your caveat to this one. So I've found a way to spin it a little bit. Okay, and so the way it kind of goes now is people say, they call up a business and they say, hey, my name is Lisa, I am a senior editor for XYZ, or I work for XYZ, or I own a website that does XYZ, and I'd like to make a video of your business, and you can have it for free, and they give them this free video. So some of you guys might have heard of that and known that method. And back then, I actually did a little of that, but I quickly found this wonderful Newswire service. So Doug Brown, no, I don't have an affiliate link. Doug's just a great guy. And you can do this with Maj too, by the way. He's got his service. So what I was doing is I was offering, now mind you, I pay a yearly fee to this company. I still use them today, but I also use Maj and other people. But I pay a yearly fee. Notice I'm a senior journalist. My picture's here. I've got credibility, right? So I would say, hey, we just, want to introduce ourselves. This was a new restaurant that opened. Same thing. I'm looking for new companies, right? They don't have relationships yet. They're looking for help. They don't even know what to do yet. That's the key here. And I would say, notice this is March of 2013. Texas Best Barbecue 3-Stack Smoke and Tap House delivers Texas barbecue with a new twist. We said, hey, we'll write a press release for you. We'll do it absolutely free. We'll get it syndicated. We'll get it out on the wire. And you can have it for absolutely free. So we write this. Oh, it's great food. You could put quotes from the client, and future ones after that, I would put quotes in. You give them this, and then you just rank this puppy up. You guys know with RFR, you could rank this easily. You show it to them. Guess what? You're in the door. They want to talk to you. They want to ask you. Most of these clients would say, well, this is awesome. What does this cost on a regular basis? So then you can sell them press releases. I could come here and show you. Let's see. So recent stuff. I can't get the darn thing to work. So in recent, I have a customer who he doesn't do much with me. So Martin UAV, if you don't know them, they're a big company. And it actually, I shouldn't say that. I've done 2 other websites for them, just not their main website. Notice June, May, February. They still buy press releases from me on a regular basis. They pay me to write and put their press releases out. I've done 2 websites for them. But again, it was a free service I offered to some businesses, and we started writing, stuff for them. So my point is, there's ways to get in the door. You could call up and tell them you're writing an article. Say you want to get into a restaurant. I'm writing an article about barbecue restaurants, and I'd love to mention your restaurant in the article and get a quote from you. Now, I would probably do this with 2 or 3 non-competing, here's the key here, 2 or 3 non-competing barbecue restaurants. Do not, grab the one that's in the same city. Get one that's on, one side of the city and one that's way on the other, non-competing, right? And tell them you'll write, and then you write that news story, you write that article, you mention them in there. You now have the ability to call them back and follow up with them. You're going to get their email, right? You're going to get the main person's decision-making email, right? Because I'm going to send you my results. I'm going to show you a report. I can show you where it gets syndicated and who picks it up. And for example, in this service, I can come here and I can look at my published statistics. I can run reports. Maj gives a beautiful service. His report is so much nicer than this company. But again, this company's cheaper. I pay a yearly fee. I can write as many as I want. So when I'm talking about that free service, I can't be paying, the kind of prices that if you have someone do it for you, right? So for me, this made sense that I can write as many as I want. So I'm gonna stop because I want to see who has questions or ideas, because a lot of times this group by themselves will come up with some really great extra stuff to add in.
Well, I think one of the things that I posted here, Dwayne gave us a nice link to a TED Talk on, about smarter people than you. So I posted that link in there for everybody. And other than that, people are just commenting. We don't have any real questions. So why don't
Press on?
press on and keep going?
Okay, my third
Oh,
method.
wait a minute.
What?
There's a question. How much do you sell press releases for on average then?
Great question. Okay, so I personally like to sell them cheap because, again, for me, they're a get in the door method. They're a keep my customers happy method. I'm not trying to make a ton of money. So I will sell them $150, which is, I think, exactly what Madge charges. So you could use him. So I sell them for $150. That includes the writing. But like this company, for example, to incentivize them to spend money with me, I think one time I said, hey, I'll do 5 for 125 or 10 for 1,000. Again, I'm just trying to get revenue in the door. I pay a set fee for this.
Mm-hmm.
So the second or third time they paid me $500 just for this one. They ran out of credits. They put in $1,000. So yeah, I'm only getting $100 per, but again, they're coming to me. So what happens when they need another website? They come to me. What happens when they need SEO? They come to me. What happens when they need print? They come to me. You notice I'm creating this pattern of come to Lisa because she probably will get it done for you. And if she can't get it done for you, she'll find someone who can. And here's the trick I use. You don't have to do this, but here's the trick I use. Somebody came to me once and said, hey, we need name badges for employees. I said, okay, I can do that for you. I don't really do that as a service, but if I take care of it, I'll charge you a $25 fee for me to handle it for you. You cool with that? Yeah, no, that's great. I don't have time to do it. Now, I'm not really making any money. I'll have one of my people do that for them. But the point is, guess what? They came to me. I give them very few opportunities to go somewhere else and get wooed into, using their services. That's my point here. So we do the name badges for them, not because we make any money, but because it makes great business sense that name company could start sell. Who knows? GoDaddy now sells everything, right? They used to be just domains, and now I think they'll sell you children. So, we just keep them coming back. So yes, I charge $150 per, unless they buy a pack, and that includes the writing. Now, mind you, I have a lot of writers that write SEO and blog stuff for me. So how hard is it for them to knock out a press release? Not very. This particular company pays those prices, and they write their own press releases, by the way. So I don't even write theirs. So, getting someone to give you a 500 or 1,000 will end up paying, for your memberships a lot of times to some of these sites. I'm just looking, make sure there's no. Okay.
A couple good suggestions there. Heinrich is giving us some information about how to do this in UK, and Alan is sharing a little bit. He uses iWriter for some of the basic content. You can also do all your own research for your press release by using the Content Factory and putting in your keyword and getting all the data that you need, and then write something up for somebody and send it to them as a potential press release.
Well, and that's why, remember, news releases, keep in your head the word news, right? You could write an article, a story, and, they don't have to really supply you anything, and you're not going to have to work very hard to write a, top 7 barbecue places in Texas. That's it. How hard is that to write that, and you can put them through a lot of these services. You're just saying a little snippet about each company. You can even ask them to write it themselves. Like, hey, say a little snippet about what you do and who you are, and then you edit it. You can have it done in 10 minutes. Now you have 7 restaurants that you put in that article that are potential customers. Now that's if you're going after restaurants. I'm not a big fan of the restaurant, but some people go after them. To me, they don't have high dollar ticket items that I can sell high dollar SEO, and that's a whole nother. That's actually, by the way, and I'll tell you at the end of this call, we're having 2 sessions this month in our group if you do join, and one of those is the niches to get the higher value clients. It's the exact talk is what we're going to do on the next webinar. So, all right, Patrick, I got to move on because we got to show this next one. It's my personal favorite. It's the one believe it or not, if you've never heard of this place, it's called Fiverr, Fiverr. If Fiverr figures out I've done this, they'll probably cancel my account. So let's not show this video around to anyone from Fiverr. But I stumbled across this back in 2012. And I'll be honest with you, back then you could only do things for $5. That's the only account they had. Nowadays, you can say, I'll do this for $100. But I caution you when I show you this method not to do that. Remember, most people pay. Like if I were to do letters, I had to pay postage. I had to pay $400 to prospect. In this, if you just get paid, that is a bonus. You're being paid to prospect. So I'll come out here and just show you, for instance, postcards. So, or I'll just say design a postcard. So here's an easy, this is what I started with. Again, I do have Photoshop skills. I had the ability to design. I could do this myself while watching. Back then, I think it was American Idol. I don't know. But here's the difference. Back then, I didn't know how to stack and rank and get mine to show up at the top. You guys have RFR. You can actually rank Fiverr gigs. You can get your gigs to show up at the top. Back then, I couldn't. And I still killed it. So I will design a postcard flyer and a postcard brochure for $50, $3.50, $15. Remember, Fiverr's matured. Notice not a lot of people want to do it for $5 anymore. Here's a couple. So if you're still the guy who says, I'll do it for $5 and you show them beautiful designs and beautiful examples, guess what? They're probably going to give you a shot. Who hires people to do postcards? Real estate agents, dentists, lawyers, landscapers, pool companies. Do these not sound like all of our SEO clients? And why do they come to Fiverr? Because they're broke and they don't want to spend more than $5? Nope. Promise you. It's because they don't know where else to go. They just want it done. They just need it done. And Fiverr created that environment for them. So I created a Fiverr account, I don't know how many years ago, a while, right? So if we go in here and look, for example, at my profile, and again, let's not, Patrick, share this video. This can't go on YouTube, things like that. This is going to stay, you have to sign up to get it. Here's one of my gigs. I don't start at $5 anymore. Sorry, I don't need the business like I used to. So if I'm going to prospect, I prospect a little higher. But here's the gig I've used. I have never changed this gig in all the years. I think I started it in 2012. I've been a member since January 2012. Do you see a pattern? I started my business in October. I got through the holidays, and by January, I was serious and started doing all these methods, right? So the last time I did this was 4 months ago. I did a postcard for someone. We'll still fulfill these if we get them. I tried other gigs. I tried doing other stuff. I did dental postcards. That brought some people in. We played with stuff just to see what kind of stuff. And it always came down to business cards and postcards were the best ways for us. Now, Patrick and I discussed this before we did this call. When he asked me if I could do another free one for the members before we started this group totally private, I said, okay, I'll do this one. And when him and I were discussing it, Patrick, what was our discussion? It was RFR members can do more than what I could do. Back then, I didn't know really how to cloud stack or anything. Think about that. You could get all sorts of things done for them, but here's the key. Here's the key. Whatever you do, you have to get their email address. You have to be able to get, Fiverr does not allow you to contact people within their platform. You can't say, call me. You can't say, email me. If you get caught doing that, they ban you. So you can't do it. So the one reason I did these are because they have to give me their name, address, phone number, email address. You see the pattern I was doing? I have their name, address, phone number, email address. So I can now contact them. And I've already delivered for them. They already like me. They're not using Fiverr because they want to. They're using Fiverr because they had no one else. This is within the first 3 months of doing this, I landed that dental consultant who hired me at first to design a postcard. I made $4 on that design. She then hired me to print those postcards because, of course, when I delivered, I had her email address. I emailed her back, said, hey, by the way, I'm not supposed to contact you on Fiverr, but if you want me to print them, I can't give 5 or 20% on print, or I can't do it at a good cost. I can print these for you dirt cheap, but we have to go outside of Fiverr. Immediately, I moved the relationship away from a site that was going to charge me 20%, and that's what Fiverr charges, 20%.
Mhm.
Plus, they charge the person who orders an order fee now. They didn't used to do that. So $4 turned into $143, which turned into a, hey, can you do all my postcards? And then after that, I happen to mention we did web design, then we redesigned their website, and then of course I mentioned we did SEO. Well, they were a very successful practice, started doing their SEO. That is, $29.50 a month continually for the last 6 years. I don't think it was that much, in the beginning. So we've upped them over the years. And they've given me 10 other clients that have totaled $450,000. I found that client on Fiverr. Now, to me, that's brilliant. Not because I'm brilliant, because I just happened to stumble upon it. I had nothing better to do, and I was playing around with stuff. So you would create a profile, obviously. You'd have to become a pro. You'd probably have to deliver some stuff. Think outside the box, guys. You could tell people that you're going to rank a video. The key is you
Hey,
have
Lisa,
to get their information. Yes, sir.
type up in Find Services backlinks.
Fiverr's trying to be legit, so there's a lot of stuff they used to allow that they don't anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And so there are some things, you can still do backlinks. The key is you have to find a way to ask them for information, because Fiverr says you have to deliver those links on the Fiverr platform in a zip file. You can't email them to them. So that would be my only caution, that you've got to figure out a way, Patrick, to get the person's contact information.
Well, you can do that via PDF or some other document that you want to send them, which is an attachment, I believe.
Yeah, but if they catch you doing it,
They can't read that. But the point is,
I'm just saying.
The point is here, what Lisa is trying to share with everybody, very succinctly, is find something that we can provide for a very small amount of money to start building a list based on the services and the things that you learn and can do with your Ranking Factory tools. How about if you just put a service on there? We will create your blog and your content. Use the blogger, okay? What about if you want to, rank a YouTube? You can do that within this. The mind allows you to expand your thought processes to anything that we're trying to teach you with Ranking Factory.
I like the YouTube, Patrick, because ranking a YouTube means you now have their YouTube channel, and you can backwards engineer them from that, and you can ask them, oh, I need to have your contact details because we put that in name, address, phone number in the YouTube video. So it's easy on some of these gigs, if you really think about it, to get the client to give you the contact information.
Exactly.
You just got to do it in a way that fits, and Fiverr doesn't say, oh, because the whole point is you're trying to get this relationship. And you could put the SEO in here. Fiverr will be more than happy to let you charge a client $3,000 a month and take 20%.
Sure.
Back in the day when I was doing this, you couldn't do that. Like they had $5 gigs. Who did SEO for $5?
Exactly.
So back then, I couldn't give them the 20% if I wanted to. Now you can have a gig that's $3,000 if you wanted to. I still don't plan on giving them, that kind of money, but that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, look, get number one on Google Maps, $195. If they're going to get number one on Google Maps, that's what you're learning in RFR. You're not trying to get the 195. What you have to think past is, if you can get them number one on Google Maps in one city, why couldn't you then upsell them to organic SEO, getting them in maps on other cities? You're going to upsell them. You're going to take a client you get, and you're going to continue to sell them more and more services. Every time I come up with something new or some new thing I want to do, the first people I sell it to are my own customers. There's nothing wrong with that. You can go back to, the well and get them to pay you more money for new stuff. Matter of fact, most of them are happy that you stay on top of things. Like, hey, this used to work and we were charging you this, and we keep doing that. It still works kind of, but we have this new thing over here and it just takes us more work. So we have to charge you more for that. Are you cool with that? We're going to have to up your payment from $1,500 a month to $2,000 a month. But we're going to get you, better results. You cool with that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this Fiverr method, obviously you have to gain trust. In the beginning, you probably got to do things dirt cheap just to get success. Again, we have a group here that, we get 20 people to sign up for Fiverr accounts. Each of you order each other's services. You don't even have to deliver them. Just wait 4 days and then hit deliver. Tell them you delivered. Give each other 5 stars. Everybody spends maybe, I don't know, 50 to $100, and you now start showing 5-star delivered service. There's always a way to game the system. So that's what I did. I mean, I don't know if gaming the system's the right word. It makes me sound awful, but that's exactly what I did.
One of the groups that I belong to for Fiverr it's called a Fiverr Exchange group. So, I will give them my product. They'll give me their product, and then I go write a review because I've actually got the product. It's a legitimate review, but I don't have to pay for it. But then again, I don't have to game the system. I give my product to you, Lisa.
Right.
You do a review on it, and we do an exchange.
Right.
Right.
And you do pay. Fiverr now charges, Patrick, a $2 service fee. So the $5 becomes $7. They take 3 of the 7. So there will be some costs involved. You can't get around that. But if this is earning you, and this is just an idea, don't think Fiverr is the only place you can do this.
Well, you know what just struck me? I mean, literally just struck me. They are doing exactly the same thing as you did. They're cooking the frog by starting out at $5, and now they're allowing people to get more, and they're getting more, and they're charging more, but they're doing exactly the same thing as you did.
Pretty much. And
$5.
Here's what I earned, Patrick. So this is, and back then we're talking $5 gigs, right?
Yeah.
But here's what I earned. So I call, and I spend a lot, but I earned $7,715 to prospect. So I didn't pay to prospect. I earned almost $8,000 to find new customers that I sold over $500,000 of service to.
What an awesome idea. Get paid to prospect. That should be the title of, wow.
Yeah. And that's the same with when you think about print. And that was going to be the 4th method, but we're getting over on time. It kind of goes into all of these. Just printing alone, you can earn a commission on printing. And I have a print company, and you can sign up with other brokers and other things, but just doing printing alone, you're getting paid to prospect, because if they need a business card, if they need a postcard, they probably at some point in their, sales or business formation, they're probably at some point going to need websites, SEO, ranking, et cetera, everything we do. Mm-hmm. They might not need it today. I mean, I've had plenty of clients that all I did for them was print for many years, and then bam, lo and behold, they call me and say, you know what, you've been, and by the way, I have customer newsletters. I send them newsletters. I talk about my services. Everyone knows what I do. 2 years down the road, someone will say, you know what, I think I'm ready to try some of that SEO. I had a lawyer who started, and this is a great story. She was in one of my networking groups, and she said, I got $300 a month. I'd like to hire you to do SEO. And I said, I'm sorry, I don't do SEO for $300 a month, because I don't anymore. And she's like, yeah, but I want to hire you. I'm like, yeah, and you've got to have $1,000 or more before you can hire me. And she was not happy about that. A year later, she came back and said, okay, I've saved up, and I have the money to commit for 12 months. Will you work with me now? I find that fascinating. People are willing to do it. Not always do they have the money. So if you're doing stuff for them and you're constantly delivering, when the time comes, they will come to you. Who else? They don't know anyone else because you've always been delivering the small stuff for them. So I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint because I got to stay on. And while I'm doing that, questions, because that was our Fiverr method.
Well, the only question that I have is to dismiss my appointment. How about you get reviews? That's answered. Oh, I think you just answered Valerie's question. You know, if you're not a designer, who would you get to do the designing work done for you?
So honestly, there are so many people, and that's where overseas works really great, right? So there are plenty of qualified. You got to try them out. It's just like everything else. You know, in our trophy clients course, in our group, we'll talk about this a lot, but you know, you have to outsource because you don't have the time to do this. In the beginning, I did, and you might have the time right now if you have the talent, but don't get in the habit of being that talent because you're not going to have time to do it in the end. So you need to find a good artist that will do it at a fraction of the cost that you sell it for. And I can show you guys how to do that kind of stuff. I know where to find them. I know where the good ones are, all that good stuff. So you would find someone that would do the artwork for you. You would find someone, you know, that would do stuff for you. I'm not saying for $5, you know, you could do that. I had the talent, I could do it for $5. You might have to charge $10 or $15 to be able to pay your person. So it's just going to depend on what service you're going after. Logo design, for example, is a great in the door method. You guys know how to rank, right? So you could rank yourself up for logo design in your city. People call you. I can easily, you know, white label and outsource and do all your logo design for you. There's plenty of money in logo design for you to make money to prospect, me to make money to do it for you, and then you now have a client you can sell the next service to. So don't worry about that stuff. That's the easy part. The hardest part is committing to doing it, going out there and setting up the account. You got to rank that account, at least on Fiverr. You got to make your gig show up. You got to start delivering. So even if you guys do the share program where you're delivering for each other just to get, because what you want to be, and let me go back there for a minute. On Fiverr, you want to be able to become, like if we look at my profile, I think I'm only
Level
a level
2?
Yeah, I'm only a level 2. I've never got past level 2, but I don't care. The only way you get past a level 2 to be a super seller is you sell thousands of gigs. You know, I've got 341 5-star reviews. But in the beginning, it just takes 4 or 5 good reviews and really good samples, and people will start hiring you. You guys had something I didn't have, and that's the ability to rank these things. I didn't have any clue, you know, how to rank a Fiverr gig back then. I barely knew how to do SEO in the new style. I mean, I hadn't done it for a while. I was rusty. I wasn't really selling it. But I figured out real quick the only way I'm going to make a living having my own agency was recurring monthly services, and that screamed at me SEO. And that's why I actually bought a course. I learned it because I landed my first client who said, I want SEO. I'm like, oh, crap. And if you haven't heard this story, I actually learned it on a cruise in Europe. I was on a European cruise when I learned SEO from a course. Amazing. In 2011. It was when I opened my business in October 2011. I cruised the Mediterranean, and when people were getting ready for dinner, I mean, I'd be out on the balcony going through a course. So creative. I wanted it bad, and that's the key here. If you want it bad, it can happen. All right, must go back to PowerPoint.
Question, Lisa. If they participate in your course, will they get past? Will we be able to get past webinars that you've done?
Yes. So
you'll be able to get all the past webinars you've done with us. Yes.
Yes. No. Let me get into that, Patrick. That's probably what I'm heading towards now, right? So ready to learn more. Yep. Here's the sales pitch. Patrick knows, and if you've ever been on one of these calls with me, you know I don't do this big hype, and I just tell you what it is. If you want more details, if you want to learn the exact methods, if you want all the processes, if you want, you know, everything I did, if I'm going to share that with people, I'm sorry, I don't want the world to know, so I can't give it away for free, because if we give it away for free, everyone will do it, and then it won't be as effective. So we're definitely going to make it a little bit harder to get. So you want to learn these sales techniques, you want to know the processes, you want to know, you know, how I do it, then yes, this whole let's give Patrick free stuff more and more was just to say, hey, I'm willing to do this, but I need to get paid to do it. So we do have biweekly webinars. We've got a bunch of people who have already signed up, and it's going to be really cool. So you can go here now if you want. I'm not even going to hide this and say, wait to the end after I pitch you. This is where the pricing is. So let's go over it. If you join monthly, Patrick, I wanted $100 a month per student. Patrick talked me to 47. Not only did Patrick talk me to 47, but he made me promise I would never sell it to cheaper to anyone else. And if I ever did this with anyone else, nobody would ever get a cheaper price. So if you're an RFR member, you get 47 a month forever. Okay. And that's if you join now. Now, I could go up on that later if you haven't joined, and that's my prerogative. All right. So you pay monthly. Yes, you get access to all the back content, any past replays. So if you don't join for a year and then you want to get the replays, sure, you can get them. But frankly, you just wasted a year. You could have been successful a year earlier. We're going to have live bi-monthly mastermind webinars. But I'm very particular. Remember, I've done this before. I used to be a corporate trainer. I've had a sales course, a very successful sales course before. I was in retirement, just running my agency, minding my own business when I met Patrick. And he's convincing. I like open mic time. What that means is you can send me questions beforehand. You can ask them on the call. But after every training session, like right now, if this was our webinar, we'd open it up for open mic. That means you can ask us anything. You can ask me, hey, I got this deal, and it's with this customer in this industry. How would you close this sale?
That's invaluable.
What would you charge them? What kind of deal would you put together? Anything I could say to them, what do I need to know, et cetera. These are the questions you can ask, because this is not that fluff type of mastermind, right? And I've promised all the people who have joined, this is not fluff. I want people who want to succeed to join this. And if you're looking for the easy push button, while I'm going to give you processes, you still got to go do it. So there's no big red easy button on the desk. What there is the formula that worked for me. It's worked for other students I had, and it's going to work for you if you do it. But that's the big if. So ask yourself right now, could you do this? I'm not asking you if you'll join, but in the chat, could you do this? Could you do
Let's get
any
some
of the
answers,
three?
guys.
Any of the three we just talked about? Could you do them? One of those three. Because if you can, it'd be very hard. Oh, that got crazy. It'd be very hard for you not to succeed. So
There you go.
some of the answers, yes, I could do it. Yes, I could do it. Okay. So all the replays will be available within 72 hours. You're going to get access on any device. We have a private Facebook group where we've been talking. And I've learned a lot over the years, but I learned something very specific from Patrick even just recently.
No, you didn't. You can't say that. That's illegal.
Yeah, well, the way I'm going to do this is Patrick, I already have 2 polls in our Facebook group. I'm asking people, what content do you want to see next? Majority wins. That doesn't mean we won't do the other content.
Right.
But for those 2 webinars, I need to give you guys what you want. And then if there's other interest in other topics, maybe I'll do a bonus. Hey, we're not going to do a live webinar, but I just did a 15-minute video to talk about this topic that still is very popular, but we don't want to spend our webinar time on it. Patrick has agreed to give a free image duplicator basic membership if you sign up for the monthly. Now, I know that's what you get for the monthly. And Patrick tried to get me to give you more in the monthly, but I just won't do it. And here's why. If you don't commit to this, it's kind of like I said, I committed to 3 months of mailing things to see what I'd make, and I did those 3 months. I committed to that. If you commit to a year, you have a 90% better chance to succeed is if you say, I'm going to do the monthly. Because you've already spent the money. You're now committed to go. Anytime we spend money, we feel like we need to get our money's worth. You'll show up to more of the webinars because the replays are great. Don't get me wrong. The replays are great. But in the replay, you don't get to ask your questions. You don't get to present your topics or your deals or talk about some of those things you want. So we also put together a yearly package, and you get 2 months free, which is nice. Again, we're doing Patrick's pricing, not mine. You get 2 months free if you join the yearly. So you get everything you got in the monthly, and then here's the big deal. So I can't remember who asked Patrick, but someone said, would I get all your past stuff? If you join yearly, you're going to get the entire Trophy Client Sales course, and I'm going to show you that here in a minute. you're going to get the entire course, A to Z, start to finish, all the modules, all the lessons, if you pay for the year. And it's an entire course. It's got tons of stuff in it. All of it is still relevant today, even though the first course I did was in 2014 and we did it for a good year. And then we put it all into video replay. It comes with all the resources. It comes with downloads. It comes with forms. It comes with additional videos and bonuses. It's got a pricing calculator. It's got a bunch of stuff in it. So you're going to get that. The only caveat, and I must say this, the only caveat is if you want to access this before your 30-day refund period, you have to waive the refund period, because you could go in there and download everything today and then refund, and we're not going to allow that, because this course sold in the beginning for $29.97. The last time we sold it in just a video package was $4.97. So it's like basically paying for your year membership. Patrick also, to sweeten the pot, throws in a free ultimate video ranking course. You're going to get his course there. I'm going to throw in, and there's not 25 left, Patrick, but we still have some left. So I basically said for the first 25 people, I will offer a free 30-minute private coaching session. I have to say 30 minutes because I'm long-winded, as you guys have figured out already. I'll probably sit on that call with you an hour or more. So if I would tell you it's an hour, that would make it 2 hours. You kind of getting the gist there. So you'll get one of those every year as long as you're a member. And that's your time. I suggest you don't use it right away. I suggest you wait. Wait for that big deal. Wait, when you really want to sit down and us go over stuff together. And then I'm also offering, if you do the yearly, and this is why I said don't worry about it before, you don't have to do anything. You sell a logo, I'll do it. You sell something print, I'll do it. You sell a website, I'll do it. You sell SEO, I'll do it. You don't even have to fulfill anything. Now, mind you, if that happens, you're only going to get 10%. I'll even close the sale for you. I'll get on the call with your client and close that sale. Now, I can't close every one, but I'm sure as heck going to try. Or you can close it and I'll still do it. Now, it has to, obviously, there's certain things. You can't sell a website for $500 and say, Lisa, do it, because that's probably not going to work. And we'll be going over more of that in the group. We haven't really put that together yet. We're going to come up with some really good pricing packages and things, and we're going to do it as a group. That's going to be an extra session where we talk about what we think is right for, 3 levels of pricing models. So you get 10%, and I know that's not a lot, but I'm doing everything.
Well, wait a minute. What do you mean it's not a lot?
It's not a lot. They're just sales.
It is a lot.
It's really not.
Lisa, let me correct you, okay? Because it is a lot, and the reason that it is a lot is because if you look at your return on investment, okay, and everybody that's on this call has somebody that they could probably sell, but maybe they just don't have the skill set to sell that, okay? So to $470, you just got to sell $4,000 worth of crap in a year and you've made your money back. It's a zero cost gain. So it is a lot, right?
Right. And my hope, Patrick, is not that people will continue to do the 10% deal.
I understand it.
Once you start learning how to sell in these webinars, once we start training you how to run your business, you're going to bring less and less deals to us. And you're going to do them yourself with confidence. And then you're going to keep 100%. Now, you might still need to get us to do some stuff. And, if you've been in the group a while and you're getting better at selling, I mean, there's always ways for us to come up with here's a base price of this, and no matter what, you can upsell it and make more. So if you're selling it, remember that. If you're selling it, I'm going to have base prices. So say in the beginning, you want to do a $4,000 website, and I close that deal. You get $400. But say that same website, you came to me and said, I'm going to sell my own stuff now. It doesn't cost me $4,000 to make a website. You might go and say, hey, I'm going to sell it for $5,000. I'm not going to make you give me the other 10%. We're actually going to come up with some set pricing on some of this stuff. So as you get better, if you sell it for more, you're going to get to keep the difference. Now, that won't be on every service, but it's definitely going to be on web design.
Lisa, I want you to go back to a statement that you said at the very beginning, right? One of the things that you said, which I want everybody to think about this and put it in your brain, is this term, our team, right?
Right.
that doesn't, that doesn't mean you, Barry, or you, Alan, or you, Valerie, or you, Karen. That means our team. And your team now includes Lisa's entire business. Do you guys give me a one if you understand what I just said? Or give me a two if you're like somewhere out in Mars and on space. Right? Okay?
So let
So
me see if I understand you, Patrick, just to make sure. I'm going to play devil's advocate here. So basically, what you're saying is our team means you have access to our portfolio. So you could be showing them websites we've done, because if we're going to do the website for you, guess what? I'm your team. If you
no
want to show them
kidding.
logos we've done, you now have a portfolio of logos. You now have a
Oh my God.
portfolio of success stories, of SEO success stories. That's what you're saying, right, Patrick?
I got to tell you, if I could share with you right now, I got goose pimples up and down my arms, because if I had that capacity when I was starting, for this small investment, I would walk up and down the streets and say, look at the shit I can do. Wow, look at what I can do. I mean,
I don't doubt you would either. But
damn right. And
Patrick
in the
has,
back of my mind, I'm thinking, hey, guess what? I gotta do this. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. Look into my face.
I can't see your
You
face.
have, yes, you can, because I'm now on Skype. I'm now on my webcam.
Can you people see him?
Yeah, they can see me.
No, they can't.
Oh, yes, they can. Okay.
Pretend you're looking at Patrick.
Look into my eyes. Damn it.
Oh,
How incredible. How incredible. I mean, listen, seriously, I don't pitch much and I don't get excited about much. And most of the stuff we try to give you guys for free. But when Lisa came to me with this opportunity, I am like shivering in, like, right, goosebumps, okay? Because if you think about the opportunity, and not you wise guys out there that are as smart as Lisa, there's some of you guys out there, but you're still learning stuff. But, think about what you can do based on what you can't do. Does that make sense? You can't do what Lisa does. You can't design stuff. You can't do the websites. You can't do the SEO as great as she does. But now you turn that around and say, I can do this and not do it. That's why I was trying to say, Lisa, to you, 10% is a lot, because there's two things that happens. One is I'm going to be using this because you know way more than I do. Okay.
Yeah, and we've already, just so everyone knows, Patrick has already come to me with a deal. So he's already come to me with a client he didn't feel comfortable with. He didn't think he had the examples to show him. He didn't think he had the tools to sell him. And so we are in house on that client.
And we're not afraid to say that, right? But the second thing that it does, I could walk into the door and beat my chest and show all of your stuff and claim it as mine. I mean, does everybody understand how important this is? I mean, really, it's got nothing to do with the 10%. It's got nothing to do, with making money. It's got more to do with being confident in the ability for you to be in this business, know what you want to do, and start. And you got the best freaking outsourcer that you can imagine, who's not from the Philippines.
Hey, let's not be rude to Philippines.
Come on, really, guys? You understand this?
Well, Patrick, I'm gonna go a step further. You ready? Here's my professional opinion. I can give people who want it 20%. Okay? And here's why I do this. So we have one more plan. It's called the Yearly Plus Plus, where you can earn 20% margin. And here's why I'm doing this. Okay? With that, you get an extra 30-minute coaching session, which will end up turning into, and I think we only have 7 of these available. But what I'll do is anybody who signs up for this today, I'll go past that 10. But you'll get another coaching session, And down here, you're going to get complete processes. So everybody who signs up for this level is going to get, like, literally, when you do web design, you do this, 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 and this, because you're going to learn how to do this for yourself. I don't want to do this for you forever. I want to teach you to feed yourself. I do not, I mean, I don't, if you want me to do it forever, I'll be happy to do it. But honestly, there are a lot of people I know who do want to do it themselves. I've never offered anybody access to my processes for SEO or web design. And those are the two processes for sure you'll get. You might get others. Like literally A to Z. And for all you guys not in the US, A to Z. Like all that. The reason why I'm doing this one is because if you're willing to invest in yourself, like you're willing to put up more money, but more importantly, more time with me, and more time going over processes and doing them, you're going to be more successful. So I'm willing to give you 20%. Why? Because you're going to bring better deals to the table, quite frankly. So the people at the 10% will probably bring some good deals, but I find that people who have an incentive, so if you could bring me a deal that's worth $10,000 a month and I can close it, you get $2,000 a month and you sit back and do nothing. Now, why do I do this? I'll be quite frank, and for those of you who were on the last call, you heard this. I do this. The reason I can do this for you guys is I'm already set up to do this with a national media company. I can't give you their name. I can't tell you who they are. I might say that in the private group, but I can't put it on a public video because their customers don't know they outsource. They're not required by law to tell them, so they don't. Their customers don't know that every website they buy comes to us. Every SEO plan they're put on, we fulfill. Now, we don't do anything else for them. We just do those two services, but that's enough. So I already know how to do this and give back that 20%. And frankly, I basically use my going rates and I give them a 20% price. I think they even upcharge it more than that because they're the big bad boy who can. So when I sell them a $2,500 website, I think they're charging their customers $5,000 and $6,000. And they're worth $5,000 and $6,000. I just don't sell stuff for that kind of price.
So Lisa, Brian's got a really, really good question, right? So I can do the partnership for the foot in the door method, which you should probably now coin as a new method for your business, Lisa. The foot in the door method, only if I want, then upgrade them on my own. Correct.
Help me with that, Patrick. I don't know if I understand the question.
Well, he can, in other words, basically,
he could sell them a postcard. I do that for them. And then if he goes off and sells them a SEO, it's all his. Yeah. If you don't include me, you're not required to do this partnership program. You're not required to bring me any deal. You can bring me one deal and then the next deal, 10 deals to yourself. And then you bring me another deal. You could use me as your overflow, meaning I'll do it myself. But then when I get busy or I have a client, I just don't feel comfortable. This is just a membership benefit. It's not a requirement.
Yeah.
Now, if you bring us something, so for instance, if you bring me an SEO client and we do it start to finish, you don't get to take that client back after a year and say, I don't want to pay you anymore, and I'll do it myself. You don't get to do that. That's not fair to me, and it's not fair to the client.
No, of course not.
So that's the only caveat. I mean, you could do it. I couldn't stop you from doing it. But the one thing you have to learn about me real quick is my integrity is so high that I have literally given people back big time checks because we screwed up. So I had a client who paid us $15,000 one year to do something. We forgot to put metadata in his pages. That's it. That's the only screw up I had. I gave him back $15,000. And why? Because I cost him business. He used to be number 1, and over a 6-month period, he was number 4. He wasn't in the maps. That's my fault because I screwed up. I gave him his money back for the year. Guess where he's not going? Anywhere. I actually admitted, hey, I screwed up. I'm going to make this right. I understand if you want to fire me. And what I was told was, you've been doing this for 5+ years. Why would I fire you? I'm disappointed. I mean, I probably lost a lot of money, but I get it. Remember, these are business owners too. They get that kind of stuff. So integrity is big. So the one thing you don't have to worry about from me is integrity. I have it. I'll exercise it at all costs. And I'm really, I don't know, I love training. Let's be quite frank. Patrick was able to talk me into this because I haven't trained in years. And it's what I did for a living in some indirect way or direct way. And I love doing it. It's fun. It's fun figuring stuff out and then showing other people how to do it. Just fun for me.
Yeah,
So
you're
Patrick,
kind of like coming out of another retirement, which is training and, you know, being able to now give back from all the things over the last 4, 5, 6 years that you've learned that have been successful, and you know, giving back to those that really need some help. And I think one other thing that is important, Lisa, is that you never stop learning, right? You work with other people who are smarter than you, right?
well, and
If there are any.
both that and, like, for instance, I have an SEO coach. I pay somebody who sometimes doesn't, know more than me and sometimes knows way more than me. But either way, I understand that I'm willing to pay that monthly fee, and we have biweekly meetings because I need help with process, or I need help just going over stuff. It's not always I need, that extra training. It's just I need extra eyes. I need someone to bounce something off of. And there's no one else in my business who's in the business, right? So my business partner's a finance major, runs the finance side. All the workers do the work, but there's nobody at my level to talk to. So I actually pay a monthly fee. And that person is a member of RFR, by the way,
Right.
who told me about RFR. And that's the only reason I'm here. If he tells me to buy something, I buy it. He doesn't tell me very often to buy something. So there's a plug for you, Patrick.
No, I appreciate that.
Yeah. So
It's pretty smart.
But another thing to highly consider here, and this is big, and it sounds flippant, and I don't mean it that way. I don't need the money. I'm not doing this because I need the money. So a lot of marketers, a lot of people out there who come out and do this stuff, this is how they make their money. And that's not me. I mean, this is not how I make my money. You obviously saw I make my money in my agency. I bring in 6 figures a month. I am easily happy and satisfied to just keep doing that. So I'm not doing it for the money. However, I don't do anything for free. I'm just not that person. I'm not time is money. And if I took time out of my business to do this, I'm actually sacrificing selling or making money. So I've kind of got to replace that at least somewhat. All right.
So
I got
go back one slide, Lisa. I want to make a point.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm hijacking your whole thing here, but
it's your call. These are your RFR open group.
And everyone on this, you guys have been through so many webinars, so many pitches, and so much crap. Hopefully you don't consider what we do crap, but we want to provide great value. Okay. And, I really want you to do some math. Okay. Quickly do some math in your head. Okay. If you were able to sell a $1,000 a month SEO package, okay, or a $1,000 a month website package at 20%, can somebody tell me how much money you would make and did absolutely nothing? Is there any mathematicians in here?
Just a trick question.
$1,000.
Get our calculator out, Patrick.
No, this is a trick question. How much money would you make every month on a $1,000 a month sale that you had nothing to do with but referred to Lisa? Okay. Barry's smart. Rusty's smart. Okay. Come on. There's only 2 smart people out here. All right. Dan's got it. Okay. Kendrick's got the idea. $200 or $2,400 a year.
Yeah, winner, chicken dinner, Patrick, because that's how you guys need to think of this. Do not think of this as a month. You think of this as a year. Now
we're on the 20%. Barry, we're on the 20% slide now, my friend.
Yeah,
right?
That's okay.
So, but listen,
Barry might be on the 10%. Everyone does what they're comfortable with.
It doesn't matter. The whole point is, I don't know. Maybe you guys think I'm overselling this, but I'm not selling it. I want you to get it, okay? Because quite frankly, there's a lot of us in Ranking Factory, of the 600 people that are in the Skype group, and I did a poll. Do can anybody guess what the average amount of money that people are making? Give me a percentage. Lisa, forgive me. $1,000 a month less or $1,000 a month more? What is the percentage of people in Ranking Factory that are making more than 1,000 or less than 1,000? Is it 50-50? Yeah,
in their
a
business?
month.
I would hope it's
Yeah.
it's 100%. We're over 100 or 1,000 a month.
No,
If you're not
no,
making
not even
$1,000 a month in your business,
not even close.
you need to work on your business. I started the
Not,
business, and I don't want you guys to think I'm bright either. I don't have a college degree, by the way.
well, but
I
that's
don't.
okay.
So, but what I'm saying is, there's no. You don't need to be smart. You don't need to be a great salesperson. You just need to see what someone else does and emulate that. And that is probably the key to my success. I surrounded myself with people, and I tried stuff, and I joined groups like this, and some of them weren't worth a darn. And I felt like I wasted my money. But then I found ones that were so, like that SEO course I bought, the very first one I did, it was an amazing course. It cost me $697, which by back then was a lot of money for me. Worth every dollar, you know?
So let me finish my point. Before people came to Ranking Factory, I do these stats, right? A lot of people are coming to try because they need to increase their incomes, and they see all the whistles and bells that they can do all of this, and then they find out, well, it's a little hard to do some of this stuff. So the point that I was trying to say is that the average person coming to the Ranking Factory and us makes less than $1,000 a month in their business. Okay, that's the average. Now, obviously, we've got superstars, and I'm not talking about those. My whole point is that if you take a look at what the opportunity is for you to build that confidence, knowing that you've got this great, awesome team to do all the work for you, you just need one customer, and not only have you made your money back, but you made a profit, and it's ROI, right? So
return on investment. All right,
I'm going to
guys,
stop.
you have to stop hijacking. I want to show them at least what's in that trophy client course.
Go.
And then I do want to talk about what the difference is between the 2 yearly memberships. So those two things I want to talk about. So the trophy client course, you get that absolutely free. I said it's a $9.97 value, but the last time I sold it, it was $4.97 on a deal for somebody. So I have sold it as cheap as $4.97. So that should say $4.97. I feel like you should always tell people the least you've sold something for. It is step-by-step sales training. We talk about a lot. We talk about processes and fulfillment. These get in the door methods we talked about today. We actually have videos on every single one, step by step by step, how to do it, how to do the spreadsheets, how to look through stuff. I mean, we didn't have time on the call, so I can't go through all that. There's extra videos, there's downloads, there's a sales calculator. So I'm going to stop, and I have it open right here. So this is the course website. It's trophyclients.com. If you go there, you won't be able to see any of this stuff unless you're a member. But here are the training modules. So how to identify and find the big fish. Now, this course really is about landing the big clients. But what you learn in here, you can get little clients. There's nothing. The reason I say find big clients is because I'd rather have 2 clients for $6,000 than 10 clients for $600, because I'd rather just take care of 2 people than take care of 10 people. But that doesn't mean you can't get 10, $600 clients. So the only caveat to this course is it definitely talks more about landing the big clients, and the people who bought this were everybody from beginner to advanced, and everybody said it was a good course. We talked to you about how to go after them, but then we do have some soft skills, right? We talk about you and how you can become a better salesperson and what kind of things you could work on. How do customers feel comfortable? What do you say that'll kill a deal? What do you say that will help a deal? We do role playing. We do a lot of stuff in there. We talk about how to structure deals, how to think about the residual income. What else do we talk about? I'm trying to remember. Selling the higher clients, and process and fulfillment is the last one. We also have a bunch of bonuses. Here are those lead generation methods. I go really into how to use print. You don't even need to use me. to me, just the method I'm going to show you, you could sign up with a print broker and do this all on your own, and just sell print to people. And you don't have to design. Some people will come to you just to get reprints, and then you make money on that. I've got a customer. Oh, I love this customer. Orders 4 times a year. My profit margin is $1,400. I push a button and hit reorder. Love that. Need tons more of those. There's an online calculator in this course, and I tried to show it last time and it just got complicated. It's too much to talk to you about, but basically, if you go back and watch the replay, there's a replay. It's a free replay. I teach the method of how I price and sell, how I walk in. I give them low, medium, and high prices because most people will pick a middle one. So the middle one's what I really want them to pick, but I give them low and high just in case. Business forms. Let me show you this, because to me, Patrick, this took me a long time to put this course together, and it's worth a lot. Here's a standard website agreement for web development, web maintenance, a monthly service agreement for local and national SEO, a monthly service agreement for reputation management. My lawyers actually went through all this, not in the beginning because I couldn't afford it, but down the road I actually hired a lawyer to go through all these. There is a disclaimer on this page that basically says, hey, you can use these as a reference, but I'm not responsible. Please, look at them yourself. And if you want to use them, great, but I take no responsibility. But they're great. I mean, these were actually looked at by my attorney. So there's intake form. And by the way, these are what I use today. They're no different. These are the exact forms I use. Client intake form, a website discovery questionnaire. Again, if you ask me to do the work for you, you're going to see this stuff in action because, frankly, this is what I use. I ask the customers to fill out forms before we do the website. A reference doc, a mutual NDA. You should be signing NDAs with people. A business plan if you need that. Timesheets, time trackers. This is for contractors. If you decide to subcontract, here's an NDA plus a non-compete from your contractors. Here's an independent contractor agreement. This is just stuff I've had to figure out on my own. And when I built this course, which I don't do this course live anymore, it's totally video. But there are some people who hired me to be a private coach, and I still coach them today from this course. But we did the bi-weekly calls like what we're starting now. We did those for a couple years, and then most people that were in that, I just didn't keep selling, so therefore they became successful, and they didn't need it, and I was ready for a break, if that makes sense. So, and that was 2014. So I was out 2014, 2015. So I was kind of ready for a break, and we had the group for about 2 years, and then I didn't continue it, which meant people stopped paying, which is fine. So I've committed to do this, by the way, if you're wondering about that, at least 1 year. That's what I told Patrick when we did this. So we'll do this at least 1 year. I suspect we'll do it 2. Maybe we'll continue. It just depends how many people still are interested a year or 2 from now. But
so the time you get 1,000 people in here, you'll be going on for quite a while.
Yeah, I could. But these forms, for example, to me, this is invaluable just because it took me forever to come up with all this stuff and things like that. We also have, you have access to, and I didn't show this in any of the other webinars, but this is not really where I'd like it to be. Unfortunately, we just haven't invested a lot of money. I don't want to be a Vistaprint or one of those big companies. I just don't want to be that. But we did build an entire platform, and if we have enough people interested in the group that want this to be the group platform, we could take all marketing and all this. This could be where you guys use this and you sell through this. We can take our stuff off the bottom. I'm happy to do it. But this is a full service print. Some of my customers go through here and order their stuff. We built this for them. So it's a beautiful site. You get access to that. You can have an account there. Even if, you want to do it yourself, the pricing we get is astronomically low. So we can beat Vistaprint, by the way, Patrick. We can beat Vistaprint's pricing.
Can you? That's awesome.
Yeah, pretty cool. And when you're trying to get in the door, the easiest way to do it is say, hey, I can beat Vistaprint's pricing. Interested?
Yep.
And then there's just other stuff. So I don't want to show everything.
No, stay away from that.
Yeah, and I do like to show these. So these are the people that I wanted to give a nod to when I actually made this course in 2014, the 3 years prior that got me to where I am, at least at this point when I made this course. These are the people that helped me. These are the people that I either bought products from, used for private coaching, learn something from, or frankly, just like their business model. I will tell you right now, this one right here, number 6, this success video is worth the time to watch. It is worth, and I don't remember if you guys get access to these if you're not a member. Try it if you're not, because I think there's some stuff in here you can access for free. Because Jack Mize is a brilliant salesman. He's a mentor. He did some coaching for me. He's taught me a lot of things, and he's got a 4-step process. It just opened my mind to, this is all the customer wants. I used to be the person who went in there and screwed up my own deal. I didn't know when to shut up. And Jack helped me learn when to be quiet, when to just say thank you and take their credit card. So this is a really good video.
Is that something I should learn?
Hey, if it's working, if you're making sales, it doesn't matter. And so this is
no, that wasn't the question for people to answer, by the way. Stop it, don't answer that.
Well, this is the Trophy Clients course. Again, if you do a yearly, you get this at no cost. If you waive your right for a refund, you get it immediately. You can have it by today, after the call. If you don't waive your right for a refund in 30 days, if you think what you've learned in the bi-weeklies, say, yeah, I'm sure this course will be just as good, then you get this. Again, there's just too much here to download that if we gave it to you and then you waived your 30, it's not smart for me to do. So I will tell you this, every yearly member who's joined so far except one has waived their right. And I think everyone's pretty happy. So, all right. Well, I don't think I have any other important PowerPoint slides.
But I think I have one important thing to say, and it's really a quote from a peer of yours, friend of mine, and it says here, insider tip. This is not coming from me, okay? There are a few that have signed up for this and paid that have been in business as long as Lisa, and have agencies as big as Lisa, and are at the level of Lisa's agency and proficiency. I'm ad-libbing, okay? And with the open mic, quote unquote, everybody be adding our insights to Lisa's insights. And here's the thing, you cannot buy that anywhere else.
Patrick, that is a beautiful thing, and let me jump in for a minute. So I think I know who you're talking about, but I'm not going to out the person who is at the level I am, and we've had many back conversations. And this person, I'm very excited that's in the group, because if it's the person I think it is, he has something that I recognize. When somebody has a better tool than me and a better system than me, I'm all about adopting it. And he is letting me demo something right now that, if it's as good as I think it is, and I think it is, the members of the group, I'm going to try to talk him into either free for beta testing, because I think he could sell this to the world. So you're right. I mean, anytime you join a mastermind group, the cool thing is, and I've learned this throughout the years, you have lots to add as well. You'll be surprised. Someone who just started their agency sometimes gives the most brilliant advice, or that open mic time really spurs people to say, oh yeah, well, I found this thing over here and it works like this, or I found that thing over there. Think about it as Patrick's Skype, but in a very private, more controlled, more focused setting, right? So you don't wake up in the morning and go, I've got to get in here and answer my questions, but you've thought about it for a couple weeks and now you know what you want to talk about. So I have on the screen too, this is the done for you services we at this point are willing to do. I will throw in the pot. I'll do press releases too. But here's the thing. I don't want to compete with Madge. So I really would prefer you guys go to Madge to get the press releases. I really would. I feel like he's earned it. By the way, I have a press release platform, but I bought 3 press releases from Madge recently. So I recognize the platform he has is better. I recognize some of the stuff he's doing is better. But if you just need to put a couple free press releases out there and you're willing to write them yourself, I am opening the door to allow some people to put some stuff up there. So I'm going to be very generous in this group on what we share and what we do.
Yeah, that's important.
Okay, I know on the last call we also talked about membership and we got a bunch of people to join, but the biggest question was what was the difference between the yearly plans? Because I'll be frank, almost everyone who joined has joined on a yearly plan. So, you know, who knows? We might even get rid of the monthly plan so we don't have to deal with the billing. We'll see. But the big difference is simply this: both of them come with the complete trophy clients course, right? So it's the difference of the profit share. If you think you'll be taking advantage of this particular service, then that's the big difference. Plus, it's an extra 30-minute coaching, which, let's be frank, it'll be an hour and a half because that's just the way I roll. It's also this plan. These people are going to get a very separate webinar. We're going to have a webinar to go over the complete processes. Yes, we're going to, you know, record it, but it will only be, each one of these memberships do have different content and private content they have access to. So this group of people, we're going to have a webinar where we go over the complete SEO process and the complete web design process. And I'll tell you, this website design process, we literally have it down to go to server and do this, go to server and do that, delete this, add this, do that. I mean, it is, the SEO process has a lot of that, but it's definitely, as you know, SEO is not a, here's the 222 steps and you will definitely rank. So it's different. But the website design, trust me, this process alone, you could hire a couple of VAs and probably get it done. You know, you might have to train them a little bit, but we're going to go over, there's going to be a separate webinar for these processes. You're also going to get the free additional RFR license on this membership. That is per Patrick and Gary. They were generous enough to throw that in. And then secret discount. I'm saying secret because I really don't want to talk about private coaching. But if you're the person who you want me to come in on a regular basis and work with you and your company, I love building stuff. I love building businesses. If I play a video game, it's always going to be a simulation game or a build game. I'm a chess player by nature. That's my head. So I love to come in and look at businesses and I'm not going to help you. So here's what I'm not. I'm not the SEO coach. That's not me. I can put you in touch with mine. He does accept students. He does not do webinars. We are trying to talk him into, but he's just not that guy. But I'm definitely the business coach. I can help you with your business, with scaling it, with your processes. And I'm not I do it from a book kind of person. We look at your stuff and we work on real stuff. So if you do want some private coaching, if you join this group, you're going to get it at a very, very nice discount. So I'll sell you a package that's pretty hard to refuse. This is fun for me, by the way, if you haven't figured that out. This is fun.
No, I think it's awesome.
Yeah. So here's your stuff. Let me just get through all this junk. Here's where you go if you haven't done so already. I can't stay on this call much longer because I must go swim in the pool because it's 4th of July, guys. And so here's the price. I am going to excuse myself for 3 minutes. You guys, I'm sure, know where I need to go. Put your questions in the box. Hey, I'm pretty open and honest.
So do I get to talk? Do I get to talk?
You get to talk for 3 minutes. See if anyone has any questions before we close up. But I so have to go use the little ladies' room because I drank a big old Coke already. So I'll be right back. And then if you have any questions, I'll answer anything. And you can consider this your first open mic time if you want. I'll be right back.
Yeah. So if you have any questions, bring them up. We got some real experts in here. Kendrick's in here, Rusty's in here, Dwayne's in here. So ask away. You got 3 minutes to ask questions. Lisa Patrick, I'll throw in that program you mentioned to beta test who joined the 15. Wow. Really, Rusty? Totally cool. Oh my God. All right. Rusty is the gentleman that Lisa was just talking about, and I know. So what he says is, I'll just post it here. Wow. Cool. I'll throw in that program you mentioned to the beta test to all who join the 1597 package if you want, and it will assist. Okay. Cool. Any other
I am
questions? Let's get.
back. I am back.
Did you? Okay, I have to read this. Stop. Just relax. Take a deep breath. Hey, Lisa and Patrick, I will throw in that program you mentioned to beta test to all who join the $15.97 package if you want. Now you can decline if you'd like, and it will assist you.
Okay. Thank you, Rusty. I don't even need to see who said that. I don't want to show it because I don't know enough about it.
No. We're not. It doesn't need to be shown. It's just.
But let's just say that my little sales calculator that you guys learned about in the last webinar sparked Rusty's mind. Rusty contacted me and said, "Hey, by the way, I've never met anyone who ever did anything similar that I did. You did something so similar to me. I want to show you this really cool tool I created." It blew me away. I mean, I think Rusty will tell you I was speechless because I didn't speak. He just kept showing, and I didn't speak. I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I would have built had I built a tool, but I didn't build a tool. I did a one pager and called it done. And so I'm playing with it and I'm testing it, and it's basically, for lack of anything else, what it does is you can't sell something if you don't know what you're.
Lisa?
Yeah.
Lisa, why don't you let Rusty tell us what it does?
Rusty, are you willing? Rusty. And Rusty, you have to give it to all members, not just the ones who joined today. Where's Rusty? Rusty, let me find it. Let me unmute Rusty, and you know what? Let me just make you a presenter. Hey, I'm not going to ask you to do it.
No, we don't need to go into.
Rusty? Hello?
Can you hear me?
We can.
Yeah.
Oh, I can. Oh, it's on my screen.
Yeah, I'm not even going to ask, will you show it? Can you show it?
Oh, okay.
Because this is super
I can
cool.
show it.
And if Rusty will throw this in, this is worth the price of admission because this is a super slick, cool. While he's getting it up, let me just tell you this. When you're actually selling something, so if I say I'm going to do a website for $2,500, I need to know exactly what it costs me to do that website. Because if I don't, when I'm sitting in front of the client and they say to me, can I get a discount? Well, I don't want to say yes and then lose money on a deal. So you need to know what it costs you to do something. And you need to know a lot of numbers, especially in things like printing. And I've got this crazy complicated spreadsheet that shows me what my print margins are, what I can sell it for, what I can't sell it for. What Rusty has done is he's created a tool that's online that you punch in a few numbers and it does all that for you. That is cool. So all my crazy spreadsheets that I'm going to share with you guys during this course, Rusty contacted me, said, I got a tool that does all that. It's cooler than my spreadsheet. So if he's going to throw this in to beta test it, because I think Rusty could sell this, Patrick, like big time. It's cool.
You've already stole my thunder because I've already talked to him about white labeling it for Ranking Factory, damn it.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool tool. That's why I love Ranking Factory people. I mean, there's so many cool people and everyone's willing to share. You know, people need to get paid for what they do. So the fact that Rusty's going to give it away for free is amazing. And we haven't put him on the spot or anything.
No,
okay. It's on there.
We see your screen, Rusty. Go ahead.
I can see you. Go for it.
You do? Okay. I'm just going to go through this real quick on the other thing.
We don't see the tool. We just see your, your menu bar.
My menu box.
Yeah. Do you have two screens or two?
There you go.
There you go.
Drag it over.
All right.
Before you start, I just want to say for everybody that, is not interested in this, please leave. This webinar is over. If you feel like you want to learn more, stick around. We know it's you're going to get a replay because you're here, but it is 4th of July and we don't want to keep you. But I think you're going to find this to be extremely interesting for your business and your business model.
Well, Patrick, I was going to say there's no really cool deals at the end, or we're not going to change the pricing, but technically there is a cool deal because Rusty just threw one on the table. Thank you, Rusty.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not going to go through all of this. I just go through the real meat part of it. But basically, what we did, or what I did, is I had a hard time with pricing, and I know Lisa's going to deal with that in her webinar. But I had a calculator, a pencil that I ran out of erasers, and trying to figure out what the best deal is. But we kind of took it to a different level, and I did make this a huge spreadsheet 10 years ago, and we've refined it and made it an app. But in here, there's kind of a couple of versions of it. One is an individual version where you can actually put in different contracts, proposals, make it a proposal, send it over to a client for electronic signature and tracking. The second version is that you can actually have a team involved in it. You can have videos based upon whatever you need in it, and multiple different types of contracts that you want. But the biggest thing here is this marketing guide. And again, this is based on our business agency and what we sell. This is a demo, so don't look at the things that are in there or the prices on there. They're not real. But you can put anything that you want in here for it, such as you want to look at this Facebook marketing large. It tells you what it is. You can put your initial cost in there. Whether that's internal or you're outsourcing it, you can put in internal costs, which means if you have any admin additional costs, you can add it in there, and then you can also have it for a monthly cost. These will explain at a different point in time. So basically, at that point, what you can do is you can also highlight these, so you just are looking at what you're selling on this. But what I'm going to do here is clear all this out so that it shows a better thing. But it gives you the ability to do figure out pricing in 3 different methods, and it's done on pure gross profit, not markup. Hopefully look that up if you don't know what that is. But here you can see that I have a cost here of, let's just say, this AdWords of $520. And if I put in here that I want to sell that at 50%, it automatically recalculates everything. We got a fast thing. So, a 50% markup here is basically, it shows you exactly what your profit's going to be, okay? What your sell price is going to be here, and what the monthly cost is and the monthly sale, okay? Now, if you want to do a referral cost, you can use it in 2 different methods. One, that someone referred it to you, and you're going to give that person, the person that referred it, a percentage or whatever you want to call it in there. Or you can look at it from a standpoint of saying, I'm going to sell a product for you. Here's your monthly price, but if you want to pay me 6 months in advance or a year in advance or quarterly, however you want to do it, you can have a secondary proposal. So you put in, let's just say we're going to do that at 10%. And now it'll refresh this, and it'll show you what your referral cost is here. So you can see your quoted price would be, let's just say your 6-month thing, I'll sell it to you for $1040, but your one-time price or your monthly price is going to be $1,150. What this also does is it doesn't cost you any money as an individual or an agency is selling it. It automatically adds it to the cost of the person that you're selling it for. And then at this point, we'll put in a discount price. We'll just make it simple. Okay, so now you can see if you do a discount, you see that your discount is $104 on this, but you can see that it automatically calculates what your profit is. And this is what I found in the years that we've been in business, that most of the time we fly by the seat of our pants in figuring out what our costs are and what our sell is, and we typically go for it as what we think that the customer is willing to pay and not how much we're going to be making. And we offer things that then eventually cost us. And I'm sure as a fellow website designer, Lisa can back me up on this, especially if you're selling websites. People think that websites are a write-on wipe-off board, and we have a lot of the term escaped me right now, but we lose a lot of money building websites sometimes. But what all this is doing is just really helping you to really see the vision before you make a price. And everything in here, you know, again, this would come to you completely empty. I can bring up Lisa's because I'm fixing Lisa's today. Hers is empty, but you can add new product on the fly and do it. You know, or you can sit here and say, I only want to do this one. Come on, catch up. Check it, yeah. And this one, and everything's all color coordinated based on the color guide, so that you automatically know here, and you filter the sections, and then you can just work on anything that you want to do. And then from this, the parts that I'm not showing you is that when you make a proposal, the things that you have chosen for this, you can save it into your files for that particular client, and it automatically builds a proposal for you. And I'll just leave it at that.
Okay, Sugar, anybody want to give us a comment on what you just saw? Would you have that to make sure that you don't lose any money in your business? I can tell you right now, if I had this type of instrument, I would probably be $10, $20, $30, $40,000 more money in my bank. That's pretty much dead sure. So yeah, anybody have any comments? So how much more work is this than what you had, Lisa?
Oh man, so I have these stupidly complicated pricing sheets for printing, and then think about, I white label for a big media company, and I know what it cost me to do something. I mean, it took me forever to come up with these spreadsheets, and frankly, they're not easy. So if I were to give those to people, a lot of times they're like, I don't get it. It's very complicated, and if you need to change anything, you have to know, VBA. I mean, I used to be a programmer, so I made these things very complicated. What I love about this tool, when Rusty showed it to me, I'm like, yeah, I might want to use this for my own business, because even for, the print white labeling and some of the web white labeling and the SEO white labeling for me, that makes it very easy, because a lot of times this media company will call me and say, hey, I want to do this deal. Can you do that? Well, I need to look quickly, because, I'm on the phone with them. So that's what I loved about it, that I had the ability to just punch some numbers in and play with stuff and take a look at, how low could I go? So if you're on with a customer and you're talking, you could have this up kind of on the side, and if they threw a price at you, knowing what in business. So one of the big things I learned when I worked for that big bank I worked for, that's in America, if you can take that hint, they actually, I don't care if you wanted a computer. If you want a new computer for your staff, you had to do a cost benefit analysis. You had to tell them exactly what kind of, it's going to save this many man hours, and so a lot of big businesses, that's how they do things, right? They figure out exact numbers to see what the profit margins are, things like that. In little companies like ours, we tend not to do that. I paid a lot of money this past year to a business coach who went through my entire book of business, and we went over numbers, and we looked at all our profit margins, and we looked at everything using my little spreadsheet. And we were able to identify 2 things that we actually lost money on. We didn't even know we were losing money, Patrick. And it's okay to give some of that stuff away for good clients. But what happens is you get in the habit of doing that, and the next thing you know, you're spending this many man hours and you're doing this, and all of a sudden, I'm out 50 grand on something this year that, why am I giving this away? at least break even. I lost $50,000. So I think these things are important as you grow, especially. So you know your numbers. Because if you don't know your numbers, you're out there thinking it's worth this much. And the number one thing people don't put in, which I love that Rusty has in this, is your cost, right? So what does it cost you to do it? You to SEO, you to manage the client, you to collect the money and go to the bank. People forget to put themselves in the equation. And when you
Right.
put yourself in the equation, what you thought was a 70% profit margin might be 20.
Wow.
And that's what I paid big money to find that out. And I probably could have just used Rusty's tool and played with the numbers, but it was still a good exercise. I got big enough that I really needed a professional to come in and look at everything. And there were a couple services we dropped and we don't do anymore.
Hey, Lisa, should I show the other thing that you and I are talking about adding to this tool?
Yeah, might as well. I mean, if
Okay.
by the way, guys, if this is something you want to do, I will tell you this. Go ahead and jump in because we need to get you access to everything. Our very first next webinar is next Wednesday. We jump right into this next week into the mastermind, and we'll put this into the rotation somewhere. This might be an extra, and you already see this month we're probably doing 3, maybe 4 videos. We said we'd do it at least bi-weekly, but I think you're going to see we're going to give you bunches of stuff. The more you miss, the more behind you get. So I wouldn't wait to get in if this is something you want to do. And if somebody accidentally bought a lower membership, so I already had a question. They asked me, hey, I bought the 470, but now I think I want the other one. Just contact me because what we'll probably do is just refund the first one and let you just reorder again. That's typically the easiest way to do for the books, if that makes sense. So,
Yep.
We'll get you taken care of if you did buy the wrong one. If next month you decide you bought the wrong one, you want to upgrade, Patrick, and I talked about it. We'll give everyone 60 days to, change their mind on and to move up. And, we guarantee the prices for at least 60 days, if that makes sense.
Hey, Rusty, before you get into this real quick, Anthony asked a question. Would this work for my catering business?
For a catering business?
Like food?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's built. It's actually built for anything. So if you let me switch screens back over here. So if you think about this, okay, you take all of this stuff out.
Yep.
Okay, it's blank. I can actually bring up Lisa's if you want me to.
Go put some cupcakes in mine.
Yeah. Yeah, first we'll get smell-o-vision and all that. So basically just think of this as this is a blank thing. So it doesn't matter what the product is. It's just that says that you have your cost in here. So you're building it. So if I want to put in like cupcakes.
Do it, cupcakes. We all want one.
Yeah. Okay. And so now, your initial cost to make a cupcakes, and let's just say, you can sit here and you can have this, a dozen. Okay. All right. So it costs you, let's say $25 to make this. Okay. And then let's just say you have, and you can do internal costs too. So, again, that's all up to you. For cupcakes, internal costs would be things such as your packaging or your wrappers or, whatever it is that you want. Okay. This probably wouldn't have a monthly cost. You can put in notes here that says, whatever, this wants to be done. And we save this. Okay. And so now I gotta find cupcakes.
I guess you should have.
Oh, I need to put a search in here. I don't know if it saved it.
You might have to refresh. I had to refresh when I added something. Yeah. And remember, guys, this is in beta, so it's not going to be perfect. That's why I think Rusty's willing to let us try it. We're going to find his mistakes and his errors so he can perfect it.
Yeah.
Because I already broke it once.
You already broke it once, yeah.
Yeah, and it turned out to be operator error. It was me. It wasn't his program. So.
Yeah. So because I didn't click all the buttons here, with the monthly price, so we need to show this here. So no monthly price difference, profit with discount, no monthly, no monthly. So now we go back here and it's done by, I'll put a sort in here. So now you can see it's a little bit better here. Excuse me. But because we have guides in here, okay, so I'm going to take out the monthly discount, 0 recalculate, and 0 recalculate. If I hit 0, that makes it a lot easier. And now's a good point. Now we got to put, and I'll add this so we do a search, so you don't have to go through here, but it's done alphabetically. So now you can see it's a little bit better. So if I do this and I filter the sections, okay. So now you got your cupcakes up. So now all you need to do is figure out, hey, is this a good customer? Is this, but what it does is that you can do for your catering business, you can figure out what your gross margin is based upon different things. Sorry, my voice is going. Different scenarios. And the good thing for me is you can do this on the fly. So I can sit there and just say, I want to see what it is going to be like for 45% gross profit. And it's, done. I didn't save it to just have that up there. So I'll fix that. Where is cupcakes? So now you can see that here you go with that, okay? So anyway, yeah, you can use it for any type of business. I even tested this with a friend of mine and another group outside of marketing and sales for his construction business, and it's working for him. And his biggest issue with things is he doesn't even know how to turn on a computer. But here's another thing too, that a tool that we built that Lisa and I are thinking about maybe adding to that as a thing. But basically, this is just an ROI marketer. So this one tells you for appointments, and it'll give you your net profit. Then we have just a basic ROI marketing. Okay, so like if you have subscribers, promotions, whatever you want to, subscribers is a very broad term of what doing this. But this is basically meant not for basic yourself, but when you're on the phone with the client, because this would be front facing, you can give them a link to this like we have, and do it at the same time that your customer is doing it, and let them see the numbers, especially with the traffic maximizer. And this works really well with RFR. So you want to sit there and see what your traffic size is. So let's just say I have 100 people, and my dollar per sale is let's say $150, and my conversion rate is
2%.
10%. Okay, 2%.
Yeah.
Do 2%. Okay. So that tells you that your annual sales is going to be 36%. Okay. So now if you want to sit there and look at it, that the percentage of increase, I want to increase this 10%, and I'm going to increase this to $175. Okay. And I want to increase this to 3%. Now you recalculate this. Okay. Now you can see the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm in love with this one.
And then also going back to this here, don't forget that when you have your things done, it gives you your totals of everything too, of what you've chosen when you do the filters. But the whole thing is ease, and I'm gonna chime in here on the statement that I said that I was anonymous on which was pretty cool. You know, for those of you that are on the fence and are still on this webinar, you know, you're going to find some things, especially if you're in RFR. And this is a thing that a lot of webinars and membership sites don't offer. And what Lisa and I've talked about on the side here is that, you know, you have some people in here that have some experience, and it's always, I've always found that, you know, I have a lot of answers, but unless I throw it out on the table and like myself, you're in business with, you know, your partnership, which is typically me, myself, and I, and you keep asking the same questions, you're going to get the same answers. But if you throw something out that you're thinking out in a group like this and like with RFR, you know, you get so many other things coming out that you didn't ever think about, or they can take it to a different level. And all of us have been there and done that. And we're willing to share the benefits that we've had over the many years of our experience. So, you know, hope this helps your group, Lisa. And,
Thanks, Rusty. And to be quite frank, that was very generous, and we appreciate it. And we didn't expect it. That was not planned. But this goes to show, so Rusty is, you know, at the same level as I am. And the fact that he joined the mastermind, not only is it going to benefit him, but it's already benefited me by working with him, because this is something that in my business, this is going to be a cool tool, and I'm excited to start using it. And Rusty, since I'm in the group too, that means I get it for free as well, which is amazing. So
Rusty gets his own
right now, Lisa.
Yeah, I already have it. Sorry.
Now you're going to make me jump my level up to, you know, 15. So that's all right. That's cool. All right. So I think we need to maybe get back to everybody and clarify how we're going to operate this, because it is a little bit of a surprise. Lisa, you did tell people that they have 60 days to jump into the 1579 level.
Right.
So I think what I want to do, Rusty, because what you said is if people are in that level, they get it. So if you upgrade to that level at some other point in time, then, you know, then certainly Rusty will make this available. But, you know, it's only going to be for those that are participating in the higher levels with us.
Do I have
Thank you,
this
Rusty.
right, Rusty?
You're welcome.
What's that? Is this correct?
Yeah. And we do host this on a separate server, so every time there's an upgrade, you'll all get it. It's just, but you'll, as Lisa found out when she told me that she broke it, and I had to go ask her what her password was, because I don't know. I don't get those things. So we host it for you at this current time. But it's all subdomain, so you'll have your, you know, your thing. In fact, if you want,
we'll be testing this, everyone, and Rusty and I will be working on it, because what his system can do, and he didn't have the chance to show you this, which I thought was pretty cool and why I was really interested in it, is I can actually create a template for a proposal. And after I've talked to the client, right now, my team has to sit down, open the Word doc, change everything out, make sure it's right, go back over it, save it, make a PDF. His software has things to where you can literally have a template, put some fields in it. You're just going to put the amounts in there, and bam, not only is it going to fill it out for you right now, I send it over to the client. The client either prints it and his is going to have electronic signing. So this was the next level up, that I don't want to go pay Adobe, you know, $50 a month for electronic signing and this, that, and the other. And he's got it all into this system. I mean, it doesn't all work. Or maybe it does. I didn't see all that. We haven't done that yet. But, you know, maybe putting my proposals together, you know, and putting them into his system, and it's going to be kind of cool. So I'm very excited about this. Yeah. But like Patrick said, this was a surprise. This was, I learned something else from Patrick. You just ask people to do something, and sometimes they say yes. Like Patrick, by the way, in the chat groups, told everyone to sign up for the webinar, because then they'll get to replay. And I specifically said there wouldn't be a replay. But apparently, Patrick, now we have to give a replay. So when you go look at the chat, you said that. So, I mean, we got to honor what he says, but
Yeah,
But
if you see,
trust
if
me,
you
there will
see,
not be replays of the group webinars going forward unless I say it's a absolutely free to all members. This is the last free webinar in this series because that's what people are paying. We're going to become a small group to where we can super focus on content. No more selling, no more of that. It's content based. This is the last one. I promise you for a while that we're going to do any sales on.
yeah.
But let me read the pitch.
Here's what it looks like to build a proposal that's in there. Okay, everything's tokenized. Okay, so you can just put in whatever you want, but then, I'm not going to do this for time's sake, but you can put in your items, so you can import from your catalog, which would be basically your things, or import right from the calculator, which means that if you had those things chosen, okay, you can put in your own videos, that are here, so show you that it actually works. Okay.
And that's
You
cool.
can
That's
have a gallery of all of your graphics. You can assign it to a team if you get the team version. Okay. And then here's your submit to the client.
very
So
cool.
you can go in here and do this as personal and business. Again, this is a work in progress. So, everybody that's in here, we're more than welcome to entertain ideas.
So
This has been sitting on my shelf for about 5 years, I have to tell you.
Yeah.
Only
That
used
means we
internally.
have
No one
input
has seen this.
into how this gets shaped, how this gets played out. Rusty's basically saying, hey, if you have ideas, let me know. If you have things you'd want to see. I mean, I was already on board to test this and play with it, and we weren't going to present it to everyone until we had a more solid plan. But heck, why not?
Yeah, and I didn't think about sending it until I was listening to the video today, and I apologize for being late. My calendar said it was at 10.
Well,
good thing you sent out the reminder and the emails. I'm like, oh crap.
That's
Right.
all GoToWebinar. I did nothing.
I don't know how to change not sharing my screen.
Okay.
Lisa will do that for you.
Okay. All right. Thanks, guys. I'm going to mute.
All right, thanks, Rusty.
All right.
So I don't know. This is kind of an interesting question, Lisa. For those of us of which 75% are still here, what do you think something like this is worth when you see the combination for your business of being able to put professional proposals, knowing that they're spot on, you're not going to lose any money? How much a month would you pay for something like this for your business? I'm just curious.
I would probably pay anywhere from probably 75 to $100 a month. Normally,
Right.
if I compare it to other software I use for my business today, maybe more, depending. Like he's got a pro version. If you had team members and other salespeople, you're probably looking at $200, even $300 if you think about a lead source or a Salesforce or. I mean, so if I were to be shy on pricing, I mean, $75 a month minimum.
Right. Okay.
And it's a cool tool. The coolest part of that, Patrick, is the fact that you're going to be able to, the way he showed it to me, the way we've been playing with it, you're going to be able to set your prices. And when it comes time to send out a proposal, you get off the phone with someone right now. Sometimes it takes me 4 hours to get him that proposal. I'll be able to get it to him in like 10 minutes. And as you know, people are really excited right when they get them. And then they can quickly sign it. And then I can quickly charge their credit card. See, there's the key, right?
Right.
When you wait 4 hours, which I do sometimes now, it might be a week before they get it back to you because they lost their sense of urgency.
Mm-hmm. And the really nice thing about this is like with stuff that we do in our groups, like we're doing right now, the WordPress silo program, it's a test area. Everybody comes in and looks and helps and provides, good questions, good answers, good ideas. And I'm just going to end this by saying, a lot of what we have in Ranking Factory, Lisa, is not anything that Gary or I came up with. As an example, for those of you who don't know, the actual stacking of the cloud stackers, does anybody in here know how that came to be? So I don't have to repeat. Does everybody know that?
You have to
repeat.
Not everyone knows.
Okay. We were having a conversation one day, I don't know, way back about last September or something, about, what about if we use Google Cloud? That was the question. Okay. And then there wasn't much said about that. But what we didn't know is that Lloyd and Terry and Madge took that one statement and in the background actually came up and created the Cloud Stacker. We didn't have anything to do with that. Okay. That was the germination of the ideas that Rusty's talking about and Lisa's talking about. So when you get together with people that are brilliant and you have an open mic and can ask anything that you want, something that you say, something that you ask may be the exact thing that their brains can connect to make something out of that matter, that energy that creates something beautiful for you and the group in the process. That's basically how Ranking Factory has continued to grow, is because our members, you guys, are saying, well, this is shitty. Why can't you do this? Or what if you put this in there? Right now, we're going to open up a new Skype chat about schema, talking about schema codes. Okay. And how can we incorporate schema codes within the Ranking Factory? And how can we do this? And that's how the GMB got started, because somebody asked a question about GMB. And so we said, okay, well, hell, let's just, bring that into the Ranking Factory and see what bright minds and brilliant people think about it. Okay. This is incredible. I'm almost crying, teared up.
Patrick, you have something in common with Microsoft, because Microsoft did not invent or program or come up with the Office suite. So Microsoft Word was something they bought.
Right.
And Microsoft's famous for buying stuff and making it better. So,
all right.
Brilliant stuff. Cool. I just uploaded, because you told me I was going to give this away. So that new business letter that we used, this one out here on the screen, everyone wanted a copy of that. That is now in the Go to the Handouts section of the GoToWebinar panel. And you will be able to download that from the panel. The only people who are going to get that are people who actually come to the webinar.
Here.
So we don't want to put that in the Skype group. Again, remember, there's people who pay to be in the group. They're going to get hundreds of documents. But at the end of the day, I don't mind giving a few things away, but I don't want everyone knowing these methods. I don't want everyone doing these methods.
There's no point.
No, that's why RFR is a beautiful thing. It's fine if a couple thousand people know how to do it, but we definitely don't want everyone to know how to do it, because then it wouldn't be special.
One of the quick questions, and I'm sure you could do it because it's a document, is somebody's asking, sending to a client, will you be able to show your logo? And I'm sure that's yes.
Oh, this document? Yeah. So I gave you the actual Microsoft Word doc. All you need to do is come here
in
the header.
Anything you want.
Yeah, put your logo in. You probably want to do a find and replace, get rid of my name. You want to come down here and in the footer, double click, and you probably want to change your address. Yeah, this is a Word doc. So come in here and change it however you want. Please don't send it out with my information and my number, because I won't know it came from you, and it'd be very hard for me to give you credit for that particular sale if you were a member and you were expecting your 10 or 20%. There'll be more information on that and how you do that. There's actually, a formal process you're going to use for that. So when you join, we're going to have a webinar about that. So, but yeah, any of the documents we give, during this webinar, I did not have time to scrub this to take my information out, and I do what I promised. You wanted it during the webinar, it's there. I will create a scrub document of this, though. I think there's already one in the back end of that Trophy Clients course. So if you're a yearly member, I think we already have most of these documents scrubbed. And what we normally do is we'll put something in a document that's something like company or something like that, and all you have to do is a find and replace for company name.
Right.
And then you can use the documents by just doing find and replaces. Obviously anything where I say I've been in the business since 1997. If you haven't, you're more than welcome to use that if you're using me to deliver. But in good faith, if you're not using me to deliver, you shouldn't say anything that's not true, right? So if you're not using me as part of your team, don't go saying you've been doing this since 1997 if you're 24. Probably not. Probably not going to work out so good for you. I happen to be.
Well, you know,
So I
simple.
get away with that.
Team is team. It's our team. I'm just a salesperson for our team, so I could be 24, really.
Well, and remember, you can own the business, be 24, and say my team has this much experience.
Exactly.
It's like Patrick said. If you're brilliant enough to hire people that are smarter than you, that's typically how you're going to succeed. I mean, I don't want
Yep.
to hire people that aren't as smart. That I got to be the smartest one. I don't need to be the smartest one. I just want to be the richest one. Let's be frank about it.
Very cool.
So,
All right. I
Any
think
more
we can.
questions, Patrick? Because I got some swimming to do, and now I've got to go hunt down a cupcake.
No, I think I've answered most of the questions. I'll just give everybody one last shot to ask a question. And if we don't get any questions in the next 30 seconds, we're going to just wish everybody a great day. Enjoy the rest of the day wherever you are, or the evening as you sleep this night. Don't let us keep you up with insomnia because of the things that you've heard today. But just before we leave, as a show of hands, and I'm not going to post this anywhere, just let me know how many people thought this was valuable, number one, and how many people have joined Lisa's, new cadre of like-minded, excellent people. Okay, excellent. Join. One, incredible value. Joined. Awesome. Want more. Always incredible. Thank you, Anthony.
Got more people. We're going to do some cool things.
Lots more coming.
Yep.
But there's a lot more coming, but this is the last freebie that we're going to do. So.
Yep. Well, and remember,
All right.
yearly folks, so if you join today, do know that I'm probably going to get off this call. I'm going to go for a nice little lunch. I'm going to have me a little afternoon swim. But trust me, I'm this person. By this afternoon, everybody who joined on a yearly plan will have access to trophy clients. You can start your training today. Those are all video, self-paced stuff. You can do the whole course today if you wanted. So if you've joined today, you will get access today. You will get an email today with how to get onto the Facebook group, no matter what membership you got. When I promise something, I deliver. And I know we had a member who joined who basically said to me, I've done this before and I've been pleasantly or unpleasantly disappointed. I finally feel like I found someone that won't disappoint me. If there's anything that is disappointing to you, if there's anything we can do to make it better, I'm that girl who doesn't have, and I don't get my feelings hurt. Tell me what y'all want. I'll make it happen. If I don't know, if I'm not the expert, but as a group we need it, I'm going to go find that resource and I'm going to talk those people into hopefully doing at least a little free training for us. I've got a lot of contacts. I know a lot of people, and I can usually sucker people into, I shouldn't say it that way. I can usually convince them in a pleasing way to come at least do a couple freebies for me. So, and a lot of people owe me favors. So you tell me what you want to know, as long as you don't say to me, I want you to teach me RFR training. Terry is the master at that. That's his thing. We go to Terry for that. If you haven't joined Terry's group, I'm in there. I give him my money every month too, because frankly, it's worth it. So you go to him for that. I'm not the SEO person. I'll try to answer your SEO questions. I'll do my best. If it's open mic time, it's open mic time. You can ask me whatever you want. I guarantee you I'm going to refuse to answer any RFR questions. So just because I don't know the tool that well. I'm not the person to ask. I'm the wrong person.
Two questions. Okay. I just want to share with you, Michael joined yesterday. Okay. Michael today got his first client. How about that?
Yeah, we need that testimonial. I'd like to see that. And that's because Michael joined on a yearly and already started working the trophy clients course.
So I don't know, Michael, are you still there? Everybody can leave. I just want to hear this. Michael, I opened up your mic. You there, Maybe he doesn't have a microphone.
I see the mic is open, but there's a question mark next to him. So
I just wasn't sure if he was there, but but I think that's an awesome just testimony for everybody here. You know, he took advantage of it, and he got his first client in a single day. Probably, I'm guessing by saying, my team can do. Now, that's my guess, right?
Michael, my favorite part is Michael says, I have no mic. Michael has no mic.
I have no mic. You're going to get one now, Mike. Mike, get a mic, Mike.
Yeah, we'll get your feedback. Love to hear it. Remember, this is all you though. I'll take credit for sharing, but when you get a sale, that's not because I did anything magical. It's because you now have the confidence. Patrick said this in our last webinar. When you have a team of people to talk to, when you have someone to bounce ideas off of, when you have people who have been where you're going and can answer your questions and can help you, you'll be shocked. When I first started, I was charging, like I told you, $300 a month, $100 a month. I didn't have the confidence to charge someone $1,000 because I kept thinking, man, what if I fail and I don't get them ranked? Then they're going to be pissed off at me. They're going to ask for their money back. I started putting money in the bank. I wouldn't spend it. I was afraid. And then I went and I learned SEO and I joined groups like RFR and I understood what I was doing. So I charged more. And then I was afraid to sell. And then I joined like a group like this and started getting tips and tricks about that. The confidence that you learn is what makes you successful. I don't make you successful. The course won't make you successful. The only thing that makes you successful is the knowledge, in my opinion, the knowledge that I can do this now. I have this success team behind me. You'll meet friends in these groups. I have friends that I've met in groups and other places that, I mean, we actually get together sometimes. You know, some of them are in Dallas. And so that's what you're looking for. You're looking for that success team. So, you know, Mike, for example, you know, he's successful. And he said, yes, have the confidence now to say I can do that. And that's big. It's hard to say to someone, hey, give me, so for example, I'll give you my example. It's hard for me to say, hey, give me $20,000 a month, Mr. Lawyer. And now remember, lawyer is the key word here, who can sue me and knows how to sue me. Give me 20 grand a month and I'll make sure you don't regret it. That takes a lot of confidence to do. And I'm not telling you that, you know, I'm not smart about it. I'm definitely smart. I would never get into a deal either with myself or on your behalf. That's not a smart deal. I'm never going to take on something that I can't do. And that's key. If you're not sure, and I've turned down deals, and Patrick will tell you that. He's also come to me with a client that I basically said, yeah, I don't think that's a good deal. Not for me anyway. I don't think it's a good deal for you, but that's up to you to make that decision. But for me, I'm going to pass. I don't want it. And it was a pretty big deal, wasn't it, Patrick?
Yes, it was.
But I felt like we would fail, and we don't want failures. We only want successes, because success leads to 5-star. And 5-star, you know, you go out there and you look up, you know, I haven't been a secret with what the name of my company is. Portside Marketing. I'm selling this course. I'm selling everything through my company. If I don't deliver for you, you're going to be pissed at Portside Marketing, right? I have a 5-star rating everywhere. And I do that because I make sure to deliver, but I only take on stuff I know I can deliver. I never take on anything that I can't succeed with, because that's just not a win-win situation for me. So, and we're going to help you with that, because that's big. You take on the stuff that's easy. And I know that sounds weird, right? Why would I just take easy stuff? Easy stuff equal more profit. More profit equal less work for the same money. And we're going to talk about those things because that's huge. Easy equal more profit margin. More profit margin equal more time. What was my why, guys? Do you remember? It was freedom, right? Time freedom. Like today, I want to go swimming. But guess what? Because I spent half the day on this webinar, what do you think I'm going to do tomorrow too? I'm going to go swimming. Because I can. So that's important stuff. And Patrick, we could talk all dang day, but Kendrick has just summed it up. His comment is time to swim. So for me, I'm out, Patrick. I'm going to go swimming. For the rest of you guys that have, thank you and congrats. I am excited to be with you. For those of you guys thinking about it, I'm not a big salesperson when it comes to selling my own stuff like this, but I'll make sure to deliver for you. So jump in if you haven't. Jump in the pool with me. I'm about to go get in it.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.